Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. So it's Wizard of Oz Day. I'm so excited. Okay, a little bit of introduction for all the zero people who are watching, but for everyone in the future who's going to watch this on like a replay or whatever. Oh, there's three of you now. Brilliant. So, welcome to the grand finale of the Teacup for One Great Movie Ride Marathon. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees. And this is our final live show of the series. For the last 12 weeks, myself and some of my other favorite Disney YouTubers have been just collaborating and watching our way through all of the films that made up the extinct Disney attraction, The Great Movie Ride. So I started with Footlight Parade, we did Singing in the Rain, Mary Poppins, Public Enemy. I'm going to see if I can go in order from memory. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, The Searchers, Alien, Indiana Jones, Tarzan, Casablanca, Fantasia, and now we have made it to The Wizard of Oz, the greatest great movie of all time. I am so excited. I've said this and I'm not going to deny it. I kind of set up this entire collaboration as an excuse to just get a bunch of people talking about The Wizard of Oz because it's my favorite movie of all time. Not to like set things expectations too high. Oh, we got friends here. Hey, Connor, thanks for joining us. Throw this over here. So how this is going to work is, as usual, I'm going to bring in some of the folks who joined in on the collaboration for this week, and we're just going to talk about the movie. We're going to talk about why I love it so much, why other people love it, and if anyone doesn't love it, I'm very curious to hear their thoughts and to convert them. All right, who else we got here? Seth. Hello, Seth. Thanks for joining us. Martha, a classic. Hydeland Adventures. I didn't expect you to be here. Just kidding. There we go. Martha. Brilliant. All right, so let's Mackenzie can get out of the chat. Where's Mackenzie? Oh, there she is. Hi, Mackenzie. Mackenzie, did you watch my video? I gave you a shout out, kind of. I referenced you. I thought it was quite hilarious, actually. So there we go. And okay, well, with that said, I think it's time we're going to start to bring in our guests for today, starting with who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Let's start off. Let's go with tradition. Lauren.
Hello.
Hello, Lauren. Thank you for joining us yet again for the grand finale. I'm so happy. So,
I'm
as
so
usual.
excited.
Oh, me too. So, you know the drill. Tell us who you are. Tell us what you did for your video today. Just tell us anything you want the nice people watching to know about Lauren and castles, capes, and or clones.
Yeah, I'm with Castle Caves and Clones. We just do a whole bunch of things: unboxings, we do hauls, pin trades, Disney news and Disney reviews. Just a whole bunch of things. I run the channel with my cousin, and we do all kinds of programming. I did for my video what I've done for all of the other ones, and that is doodling along with the movie. Like I just did some simple doodles, and it's fun to do. And yeah, so that's pretty much it.
Awesome. And very important question. Lollipop Guild or Lullaby League?
Oh, Lollipop Guild.
Good. That is the correct answer. Well done. Oh, we got some more friends here. Hello, Mary. Thanks for joining us today. There we go. Okay, we're going to bring in another friend. Who's it going to be? It's Morgan from Teaching Disney.
Yay.
Hi, Morgan. So thanks for joining us again for this week. Same thing. Tell us a little bit about you, about your channel, what you did for your video today.
So I'm Morgan. My channel is called Teaching Disney, and I do a lot of haul and unboxing content. I have a lot of pin content and a little bit of teaching content. I'm trying to get more out, but it's hard. My video today was about how I got to dance in a Disney parade down Main Street dressed as Dorothy.
Yay.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's so exciting. I'm a little bit jealous, I won't lie. And also, very important question for you. Good witch or bad witch?
Good witch.
Very good choice. All right, we've got some more friends here. Hello, Magic in the Music. Hello, Jen. Thanks for joining us. We've got Anna. Hello, Anna. Thank you, thank you. And Lauren, Martha hasn't had a chance to watch your video yet.
Oh, well, that's okay, Martha. I still love you.
And I haven't had a chance to either, but I'm going to watch it like 7 times, I'm sure. There we go. All right, we're going to bring in another friend. Here we go. It is going to be, they don't know who it is. They're in the waiting room waiting with bated breath. Who shall it be? It's Kaylee Hopkins, everyone.
Hi.
Yay!
Hi, Kaylee. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us for Wizard of Oz Week. So, same thing. Tell us a little bit about you and about your video for today.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Kaylee, and my channel name is Kaylee Hopkins over here. But yeah, so today's video, I did a book versus movie, and I had to cheat a little. I had to actually just research it. I haven't actually read the book, so I'm a bad YouTuber. But yeah, it was kind of on brand with my content. I do a lot of like books and movies and TV shows, basically a fandom channel. But yeah, I actually had a whole lot of fun researching it and found out a lot of fun facts about what was different in the book versus the movie, which I know Lauren also shared another really fun fact on my video. And I'm excited to see your video, Lauren.
Oh, thank you. I loved your video.
Thank you.
Yes, it was so much fun. I love the Oz books. Like I think I've only read the first one, but I'm familiar with the sequels. But so that brings me to your question. Ruby slippers or silver slippers?
Gotta be ruby slippers.
Your choice. That is the correct answer. Well done.
It has to stick out against the yellow brick road, of course.
It does, of course. Otherwise, it's just like, what's the point? Obviously.
I know, right? Can't blend in.
All right. Next up, we are going to bring in our friends Mike and Amanda from the Hydeland Adventures. Hello.
Hello. What's going on?
Oh, we're just talking about the greatest movie ever made, but no big deal. So tell us a little bit about you, about who you are, about what your channel is, and your video for today.
That's a very loaded question. I feel like that
right?
It's a lot. But we're Mike and Amanda. I guess we're 2/3 technically of the Hydeland Adventures because we've got our little son JP, who I'm sure at some point will make his way in here to, wrestle up some nonsense. But we do theme parks down in Florida since we're now locals, and we're branching off on our channel and doing other things that are more local to where we actually live in Florida, and cooking videos and just a little bit of everything, pretty much. And for Wizard of Oz Week, Mike made lollipop cake cookie bullshit. So you'll see us getting this throughout the show. And if we had enough time, we would have sent them to all of you, but Matt wouldn't have gotten his until probably. Matt could have probably driven down here after the borders opened before it would actually get to him.
It's funny because it's true. All right. And for your question, what's left for comparisons? Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Hearts, brains, or courage?
Hearts, brains, or courage?
Good question.
Hearts.
Heart, okay. Amanda?
Based solely on hearts, brain, or courage, hearts. But based off of the characters, my answer is completely different.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry.
We'll get to that.
Yes. All right. Oh, we got some more messages here. Haley, you got a shout out from Connor. There we go. Fun. All right. And we are just waiting. Oh, yeah. Kaylee, we can't hear you. It's like a sea witch took your voice.
I was actually trying to type back to Connor, but I didn't want to be rude. So I muted myself. But I was saying, hey, Connor, I'll respond to your Marco Polo later.
Brilliant. All right. And we are still waiting just on one friend, Ajanaclair, who's going to be joining us in a little bit. But in the meantime, let's just start talking about the movie because it's the greatest movie ever. But big question. Was this anyone's first time watching it? Okay, good. That is the correct answer. Very good. So I would like to know, I'm very curious, what is everyone's history with this movie? Does anyone remember the first time that they saw it? And I'm really interested to know, do you watch it differently as an adult than you did as a child? How has the movie changed for you over a lifetime? Let's start with Kaylee.
Oh, geez. Okay. Let's see. I loved it always as a kid. It was one of my favorite movies. And I mean, that still kind of holds true now. I think it holds up, as much for me now as it did when I was a little kid. And yeah, I have a big appreciation for it. I believe, Matt, it was you that commented on my video and said like your favorite part was it's all a dream. Like that was your favorite change. And I really appreciated that change too. I thought it was really interesting and cool. So yeah, I still really love it. And unlike Fantasia, where my opinion changed a little bit, it's still consistently, I think it's one of the best movies probably.
Absolutely. Oh, we got some more friends. Hello, Melly Mel. I hope you're ready to geek out with us over Oz and all things wizards. It's exciting. No, I agree. Like, it's just a classic childhood movie, and it never gets old. I love it so much. All right. Morgan, how about you? Same question.
I'm not gonna lie, it kind of slipped my mind to watch it this week.
No problem.
We haven't watched it either.
You said it, and I was like, oh no, I knew I forgot to do something.
She made the video, she got on the live stream, but man, actually watching the movie.
It slipped my mind. I have so much I really liked it as a kid, though. The only part I've never been able to watch is the part with the flying monkeys and the actual witch, because it always gives me nightmares. I'm sure that's probably changed, but probably not at the same time.
That's
but
fair.
I've watched a lot of versions of it. So Phineas and Ferb did a version. I think there was another. There's so many people. That's a Raven, Lizzie McGuire. Like all these TV shows, I've done versions of them, so I like always watch those rather than the original. But I have watched the original before, and I really love it. My favorite part is probably just the Yellow Brick Road series part where she's going along the Yellow Brick Road, and anytime they sing the song. But I think it holds up. I think it's like still just a classic movie that every kid knows. No matter who you are, you know it.
Absolutely. So out of all the like TV show adaptations that you mentioned, which one's your favorite?
That's a hard one. I really liked this show called Bones. They did one, like a little like parody of it. And
Bones did a Wizard of Oz parody?
Yeah, they went undercover in like a school or something, and they had to be in the play or a community play, something like that. And I just thought it was the funniest thing, and I still think that is one of my favorites. Also, Phineas and Ferb, I really like that because Doofenshmirtz was the witch.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I don't know the show, so you kind of just said words that mean nothing to me, but sound very funny.
He's like a little old, he's like a little old, not little. He's like an old, not even old. He's just a man. I'm like happier.
He's a mad scientist.
Yeah, he's a mad scientist.
He's awesome.
But
his
he's
gnome
like,
stories,
he's like hunched over and kind of like decrepit. I just think he's so funny. As
Oh,
the
that sounds
witch.
amazing.
And he's got the funniest voice.
Yeah,
I have to
he
watch
does.
it. I have not seen that one, and I've been totally turned on to Phineas and Ferb here lately.
Yeah.
Well, clearly that needs to be bumped up on your list. There we go.
Matt,
Well,
I would love to see your thoughts on Phineas and Ferb. I'm being for real. Like, I just
Really?
Oh
I
my
would
God.
I think Matt needs to binge watch Phineas and Ferb.
like the animation just does nothing for me. I've seen
Oh,
some things, and I'm just
Character
like, that's
development, we love it.
But
Really?
Yeah,
It's
the
so good,
characters
though.
are
It's
so
good.
good.
okay.
And, like the Star Wars special. Love
Okay,
it.
Star Wars and Wizard of Oz. Okay, I'll
They
look
even had,
past the
like,
creepy
kind of,
animation.
They went back in time. They kind of had like a Matrix kind of one, like Matrix time swap kind of thing episode. I love that one.
What is this show? No, don't tell me. I need to.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Brilliant. All right. Ooh, and
Okay, we don't need
actually, before we move on, we have our final member of our team here.
Ready?
Yeah, there she is. Yay.
Hello, Ajanaclair. Welcome. So, pretty well, just for anyone watching who may not know you or your channel, standard things, just tell us who you are, what your channel's all about, and your video for today. And we've also actually just started talking about our history with The Wizard of Oz. So if you want to throw that in, tell us what the movie means to you.
All right. So my channel is Being Ajanaclair, and I basically do all of the things that I like to do. So I
Nice.
have lounge flies that I like. I like making cocktails. Basically, it's my channel. I welcome everybody to it. I'm happy to have you, but if you don't like it, you can go.
Nice.
It's like the one place in the world where I could do all the things that I love and don't have to care about making other people happy. So, so you'll see. So tonight's
I'll drink to
video,
that.
I did the same thing I've been doing for this whole series, where I make cocktails. That's why I was late, because I didn't want to, like, I at least wanted my video to start rendering before I got on the live. So it will go up today because it will be before midnight. But I did another cocktail video or explore the characters, kind of summarize the characters. But given that this was the finale, I did all of the characters that I like. So there's a lot of cocktails in tonight's video.
Oh, I can't wait. Please
Here's
tell me.
one
Is there
of
like
them. This is the door.
Ooh, pretty.
And then
Oh,
this
I
is
love
the
it.
Tin Man.
Is that the heart?
Nice.
That's the heart.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my goodness.
that is awesome.
Oh,
You're always
that's
so creative.
genius. I love it. Oh, I'm so excited to watch that and to just watch Wizard of Oz while drinking all of these things. It's going to be
I mean, that was made with gin.
party for one. There we go. All right, and
You're the gin man.
what is your history with the Wizard of Oz? Like, any chance, was this your first time seeing it? I don't think it was anyone's first time seeing it.
No, this was finally a movie that this was not my first time seeing it. But when I was watching it, I didn't realize how much of it I've not seen, because I've only seen like the TV versions of Wizard of Oz. I've never seen it on like a DVD or a VHS or anything like that. So, you know, on TV they cut little scenes, and it wasn't a lot, but there were like some scenes I was like, I don't remember that. Unless I've just fallen asleep. Like, I'm like, I don't remember seeing all of that. And so it wasn't my first time, but I feel like it was my first time like watching it all the way through and seeing it all the way through. And that was a lot of fun. Although a few weeks ago, I watched something on YouTube that I probably should have never watched. And it said so in the title, like, not to watch this. It was like one of those things, like those clickbaity titles that says like, you know, don't watch this, it will ruin your like view of the Wizard of Oz or ruin your childhood for the Wizard of Oz like forever.
Oh,
and it really did. Like,
Oh my God.
Link will be in the description below.
I don't read it, and you're like, okay.
turn it off. Like, turn it off. This is horrible. Like, don't believe the hype. Like, this cannot be true. I mean, and it actually touched on some of the things like you kind of mentioned in your video, Matt, where you like, you know, about Judy Garland's weight and things like that. But it like went into like a lot more detail about like things that happened on the set and the behind the scenes. And I'm like, if this is true, like my heart is like breaking watching this now. Like, I feel like I shouldn't be. It's like going to a zoo where you enjoy going to the zoo, but for some reason deep down inside you feel like you really shouldn't be going to the zoo.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
And I don't envy anyone who had to be involved in making the movie. I think some things were over embellished a little bit over the years, but not by very much.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I'm sure we'll discuss that. So, Hydeland Adventures, let's hear about your history with The Wizard of Oz. What it meant to you as a child, if you read it any differently as an adult, let's hear it.
Well, we also took one from Morgan's book and did not watch the movie because I feel like I've seen it 112 million times. But I feel like it's also been a while since I've watched it, so we'll probably have to watch it very soon. But I grew up watching it all the time. My dad sings the Lollipop Guild song on like a weekly basis, especially growing up. Like, and he does a really good voice of it too, and it's really annoying, which means he does really good at it. And like he quotes it all the time. Like, that's what I grew up with, was him just being like, "That's a horse of a different color," and like,
why did you say so?
like all the time. But I definitely was afraid of the talking trees as a kid. But like, I love that part now, like that I'm not deathly afraid of it. but I think it was also because my mom told me, you know, like, hey, when you're auditioning for theater and stuff, just remember, you don't have to always get the lead. Sometimes it's the talking tree. And so that's probably like why I was kind of afraid of them. Like, no, I don't want to be the tree. I want to be Judy. I want to be Judy Garland in my next life. So that's my history with it.
Nice.
I mean, we grew up watching it all the time. Like, I don't remember the first time I ever watched it. My only real memory of it is my sister waking up in the middle of the night and having a nightmare about the flying monkeys because she was terrified of them. So that's like the only thing I remember. We always picked on her because she was afraid of the monkeys. And then we'd call her the Wicked Witch, and we'd sing the song when she's riding her bike when we were little. So, but it's such a quotable movie. There's like so many things in there you just want to like start talking about, and you want to quote, and it's like, I don't know. Like I thought the tree scene was like that's my favorite scene was the tree scene. Like when you just throwing apples at each other, it's great.
Yeah, I love it.
A bunch of jerks. Like it's so awesome. Yeah, I just love it. It's just a classic. Like it's like I feel like Wizard of Oz is like they took what could be. I mean, obviously animation wasn't a big thing, but it feels like it's like what animation would be like if it was real life.
Well said.
Like the way they portrayed it and the colors and the brightness, especially once they transitioned into being color, it was just so good. Like it was so bright and vibrant that it just sucked you in.
Well, now it also was revolutionary for the time, and so then like you look back on it and you're like, you know, it's the first movie that had color in it. Like,
so
what?
yeah. So I'm older than the internet. So like for me, the other big thing I remember is all the things that all the myths that happened on the Wizard of Oz, like the Munchkin who hung himself in the back scene. You can see him hanging, but it's not true, and all the other early myths that go along with it. Yeah.
Fun. Yeah, you mentioned the trees. My big memory of the trees is not even from the movie. Can't remember what production it was, but there was a really big production of the Wizard of Oz stage show that toured when I was like 9 or 10 or something, and it starred Eartha Kitt as the Wicked Witch and Mickey Rooney was the wizard. And for whatever reason, they had Eartha Kitt voicing the evil trees pretty much as Catwoman. So I saw this production where the evil trees were like sassy Catwoman evil trees, and that memory will stay with me forever. Along with meeting Eartha Kitt, who was like the most lovely woman of all time. She was so it was before I could appreciate or know who she was, but she came out for autographs at the end of the night, which Mickey Rooney did not. It wasn't very nice, according to people. But Eartha Kitt was a sweetheart. And she came out and then everyone said, "Eartha, you were so lovely," and she said, "Yes, darling, but my broom didn't light." And that interaction with Eartha Kitt was saying her broom didn't light. It was great. Lauren, how about you? Wizard of Oz history.
All right. Well, I cannot remember the first time that I watched it because that was many, many moons ago. But I remember when I was younger, my uncle had the full set of books, and I would sit in the basement of his house and just read them and read them. I loved Oz. I love anything Oz. And Wizard of Oz, obviously. We'd watch it on Thanksgiving and Christmas. That was the only time they ran it on TV when I was younger. But it was just such I don't know, I just love the stories, and I love the mythology, and I love, any kind of adaptation of the books. I loved when Disney did the Oz the Great and Powerful.
Yes.
movie. Yes, I love that as well. And Wicked. I love Wicked. So I just love Wizard of Oz. I agree with you, is one of the greatest musicals ever.
Absolutely.
And probably one of the best films ever.
Oh, I'm convinced it's the best film ever. But if I start talking about that, this live stream will go like till midnight, and I won't make you endure that. But we have this. Actually, this is very funny. We got this comment here from Kitter96. In 2011, Warner Brothers made an animated Wizard of Oz film with Tom and Jerry. Please hold.
Like I've seen that.
Uh-oh. Nerd alert. Nerd
Does
alert.
he have animations from Tom and Jerry?
Nerd alert.
Does he have Funkos? Is that what
No,
he's
I
saying?
have.
That's what I'm wondering. Like,
I'm not ready. Hang on.
I just
Oh.
I just actually have it.
I
And
like
I
how you
wouldn't-
have easy access to do it too.
I know, and I don't have that many movies like
I was
in
gonna
the
say,
place
he
that I'm
didn't pull
currently
that out
living.
just for this live stream. That was 100% just sitting right
And
there.
the DVD is actually in the DVD player now. That's just the case.
I know, right? And like I bought this just because obviously Wizard of Oz plus a cat. How can I not? And it's legitimately really
You're forgetting
good.
the mouse. He's important
And,
too.
and oh, the mouse, whatever, not a cat. But this is the thing
Wait,
with
but are
Tom
there
and
no
Jerry.
words in it?
No, there are words. They speak. It's really weird, actually. And no one acknowledges, like, Tom and Jerry in this movie just exist in Wizard of Oz's universe. Like, there are other pets of Dorothy's. So Aunt and Uncle Henry are just like, yeah, Toto, Tom, Jerry, whatever. But this movie is, like, the closest I've ever seen to a legitimate sequel to the 1939 Wizard of Oz movie. And they reanimate the Jitterbug sequence. So it's, like, the closest we're ever going to get to the Jitterbug song in an Oz movie. It's a big deal. Oh, does anyone not know what I mean when I say the Jitterbug? Hands. Does anyone know what the Jitterbug is?
Oh, well, I know like what the dance move the Jitterbug is, but not in reference to.
Oh, someone didn't grow up with the 50th anniversary VHS with the special features at the end.
I did not watch the special features at the end.
Considering
watched
not
those.
many of us are 50 here.
Well,
What?
it came out in 39. What was that?
Excuse me, I have
Not do math
Morgan is
today.
gone. There we go.
Just
Is that right?
penalty box. 2
I am
minutes.
23.
That's also a lie.
No, I know. Yes, it is. Okay, so the Jitterbug, there was this dance sequence that was a big giant production number that was called the Jitterbug because that was like the thing in the 30s that was, I guess, popular music, but then they literally turned it into a jitterbug. And so it took place in the movie when they're in the haunted forest, and then the witch, before she sends the monkeys, she sends like a jitterbug, which is this bug that within the world of Oz bites all of the Wizard of Oz characters, like Dorothy, Scarecrow, whatever, and then it forces them to dance uncontrollably, and they start doing the Jitterbug. And there's a song called The Jitterbug.
Wait, I've actually seen that.
Yeah, and there's even a reference to it in the movie. Before she sends the monkeys, she says, "They'll give you no trouble, I promise you that. I've sent a little insect along to take the fight. Now go, fly." And just that little reference is to this giant, elaborate musical number that they shot, but then deleted because it kind of held up the movie and it like ruined the suspense because that's supposed to be the part when like the thrills are starting and they're going to be kidnapped, but they threw in this number that would have made the movie very dated. So it was probably the right choice. But the sad thing is TM didn't keep any of the outtakes from the or any of their movies. So all that really of the Jitterbug is a at home video rehearsal. Kind of see them dance and you see the guys in the costumes and it's a cool thing, but I'm sad that there's so much footage from the Wizard of Oz no one will ever see.
Yeah.
I just
And
looked it up,
what-
so I saw it.
Oh yeah. Oh, and the song is out the toe tapper. And everyone listen to it.
It's got to be on YouTube. It's got to be on YouTube. for
Yeah, I
anybody
just
who
looked it
wants
up. It's there.
to- Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely worth watching. It makes me sad that it doesn't exist in a way that we can see it. There's another sequence that they deleted that I wish they didn't delete, where after Dorothy kills the witch or melts her or whatever, all of the guards start singing a reprise of Ding Dong, the Witch is Dead. And then it moved into this huge production number where there was like a literal parade through Emerald City with like a horn section and everything leading them to the wizard. But they took that out. Like the audio still exists and it sounds so good, but MGM burnt all of the footage, so we'll never see it, sadly. I know it's a shame. But anyway, that's my little tangent, all because of Tom and Jerry. I don't give it a watch.
Reprise and left in that scene with the reprise going through the city.
They should have left it.
The trees added zero value to the movie.
It added spookiness and spookiness.
Oh, what we got here?
Who doesn't want to throw apples at each other?
Oh, that's why. Oh, yeah, King of the Forest is the last song.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of blasphemy. That's my least favorite part of the movie. I kind of think it's boring, and I'll usually fast forward
That's
through it.
my other top.
What?
I know, I'm sorry. It just,
The
like,
forest. Come on now.
it's the wizard. With a roof. And a
I'm with you, Matt. I am. I'm with you.
See, there it is. So now, what do I want to ask next? No, I'll get to that. What is everybody's favorite part? Since we're kind of touching on that right now. So, Mike, one of your favorite parts is King of the Forest, but that implies you have others. What are they?
Well, King of the Forest, and then I love the tree scene with the apples. I'm just throwing back more because it really, like Ajanaclair's right. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just good comedic relief for them walking through the forest. Like you're gonna have some other evil person that they have to encounter to build themselves up to the evil witch. You know, you're gonna have another lower bad guy.
Yeah. And I think the apple scene is so important because that's like they do this brilliant thing that I've only started to notice like the last few years watching it, where they just pepper in little hints that like the Scarecrow is the smartest person in the film. Same thing with the Tin Man, Lion. Like they all have the things that they don't think they have. So that's the first time you see that the Scarecrow is smart enough to be like, I'm going to manipulate the situation to get you the apples.
Yeah, they have to apply what they're missing, like the brain. He has to apply his brain. He has to apply his heart. He has to apply, I can't remember.
Courage.
The courage. Yeah, the courage. Courage Lion. Yeah, Courage Lion. My other favorite scene though is them getting into the Wizard of Oz, and the guy looks on. He's like, "Well, why didn't you say so?" And then like lets him in, like that whole scene, and like it's a horse of a different color. Like just the accent and it just I don't know. I've always liked that scene. And I say that it's a horse of a different color probably at least once a week.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or
Yeah,
why
that
didn't you say
horse
so?
was covered in Jello. That's another thing that I kind of block out when I think about this movie.
Really? Is that how they colored it?
Yeah, it was Jello. It's like being at the zoo. You enjoy it, but should you be at the zoo? We're gonna use that for everything now, Ajanaclair. Amanda,
like, I have to dirty this horse up, and then I gotta wash him, and then I gotta put another color on him, and then I gotta wash him, and then another color on him, and I gotta wash him.
Poor horse.
At least it's Jello and it's edible. The horse may have actually enjoyed it.
That's
Okay,
true.
but isn't Jello made out of like horse hooves?
It may have been that point. It's pectin, which usually is from apples, but you can also get it from
Pretty.
collagen from horse hooves and knuckles
so
of
dark.
animals.
That's just a horse a different color.
Okay, moving on.
You
Amanda,
actually shave the horse's hooves anyway, so you get collagen naturally. It's just the same thing as your fingernails.
Yeah.
Horses are just big giant fingernails.
I can never eat Jello again.
It's not made that way now. Now it's artificial, and it's usually made of pectin, which is made from fruit.
Okay, I can approve. Amanda, what's your favorite part?
I mean, I really like the Tin Man scene where he's just leaning back and forth, and really any of the "if I only had a brain, if I only had a heart" scenes. And I'm such a huge sucker for Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Like it is. If there was ever a time that something was an instant classic, it was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Like, I mean, we're now almost 100 years later, and that's still a standard in music all over the world. And it's one of those, like, you hear it and you know it instantly. And fun fact, no, get out of here. In the Smash musical Wicked, the unlimited is the same somewhere over, and the melody mimics that. And I learned that recently, and it was one of the best things I've ever learned.
Oh, I love that. That makes me
The only problem that I have with Over the Rainbow, and it's one of the best songs ever, is I like it better when it's sung by the original writer of the song. Israel.
He's not the original.
Oh, not writer, but like him singing the song. I'm sorry. Like that's the only version that I like, though.
The ukulele Hawaiian version.
Oh, that one.
No,
It's not the
Israel.
I didn't mean it that way, but that's the person that I'm familiar with first.
Okay. Well, have you heard Christina's cover from her video today? Because that
was so good.
I was not ready for that.
Neither was I. I was like, show me all the Wizard of Oz stuff. And then instead she showed me the tears running down my face. It was insane. It was so good.
Really good.
I'm going to go watch it now, and I'll come back literally sobbing.
Okay.
I mean, it was crazy
Oh,
good.
it was so good. Oh, my gosh. Kaylee, what's your favorite part of the movie?
Okay, well, I have several. I'm gonna make it quick though, I promise. Okay, so the most like I guess predictable, like Amanda said, is Somewhere Over the Rainbow because it's beautiful. But some of the weirder ones that I really, really love and are like honestly up there with like when I come to think of my favorite parts. This one's weird, but like like the little like guards or whatever outside the like castle, and they're going oh Oh, I don't know why I like that so much, but I do. But I love that, and that just pops in my head. That's been playing in my head like this entire time for some strange reason. But I also really, really love like the scenes where we just get to see more. Like we get to like when they first get to Oz and they're like getting like their little like makeovers. I really love that, and I also really love when they get to Munchkin Land and all that, just because I love like the world building. So.
Oh, the world building is so exciting. I think that's like one of my ongoing favorite things about this movie is just how beautifully designed and fleshed out every community is, like Munchkin Land, and how different the color palette is from the Witch's Castle. I think the Witch's Castle is probably my favorite, just visually, because it's all like greens and blacks and blues and like all my favorite colors, and it's so good. There we go. We got people with you. Morgan, how about you? Favorite part?
So my favorite part is the ending when they go up to Emerald.
I'm glad it's over. That's
Good. Now we can get to those extended cuts of the scenes.
No, the ending where they get all their things that they don't think they have. And when they're going up to Emerald City to meet the wizard, and they think that they think he's this big, like, powerful being, and then they find out that he's just behind a little photo booth thing, and he's really just a small, tiny man. I think that's the best part.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Just and I don't know if you watched my video yet, but just picture that with the Mad Hatter's voice, because that almost happened, and to me that would not be a thing. That would not be nearly as good. And I don't know if they would have used Edwin's actual voice or manipulated it. I would like to think they manipulated it, but it's funnier to just imagine the Mad Hatter doing all of those lines.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't watched your video yet. I have to watch everyone's video. I just got home from work like an hour ago.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, I got one of my friends who does an amazing Mad Hatter voice to do some of the Wizard's lines as the Mad Hatter, and I put it over top of the footage from the movie just to make myself laugh, but hopefully other people find it funny too. Oh, what do we got here? You always remember the OEO parody from
Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah. See, I don't get that though, because as a kid, we did the Oreo thing like way before Wreck-It Ralph did it. It came from somewhere else, and they took it and used it somewhere else. I swear it was a Weird Al like parody, and he did the whole Oreo thing.
Something that people said.
Yeah, maybe it's what it is, because I now that they say Wreck-It Ralph, I'm like, oh yeah, sure, it was in it, but that was something like was popular way before Wreck-It Ralph did it.
Oh yeah, I was always convinced they were saying Oreo, but
yeah, that's what I thought when I was younger too.
And I was amazed that I'm amazed that there's never been an Oreo commercial with that. I'm sure
yeah.
Anyway, Ajanaclair, first off, you have to show us the shirt.
Oh, let's see if I can slide this down.
I love it.
I wore this in my video today before I did my wardrobe change.
Brilliant. Oh, it's so
spoiler,
cool.
there is a wardrobe change or two.
Like a black and white into color type deal, or?
No, like a t-shirt into the Emerald City into Blended a Good Witch.
So it's like you went to the wash and brush up company that Kaylee loves so much.
That's like one of the best scenes, the whole spa scene where like they come out with like new hairstyles and the lion has like the little red bow in his hair.
Yeah, and they redo Dorothy's hair, and I love it. And I like how I think that's the only part of the movie that kind of shows the era that it was made in. It's the only thing that kind of feels 1930s-esque, which I like because it's not too in your face, and it's just enough to make it magical. But everything about this movie is so good. But what's your favorite part of Ajanaclair? Is it the spa scene?
So I love the spa scene because I also love the fact that they just happen to have like all of the things that they needed to groom all of the characters. Like they had the thing for the Tin Man. Like, why would they need that in the Emerald City, right? They just happen to have it, right? But I would say my favorite scene is basically any scene with Toto in it. I did not realize until I rewatched it again how smart Toto was this whole entire movie. Like he is like totally like the R2-D2 of The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my god, that's totally true.
Like, he's the littlest thing, the thing you would underestimate the most, but he's the one who, you know, got away from the crazy woman at the beginning. He's the one who exposed the wizard. He's the one who got away from the witch at the end. Like, he did all of the things. Like, he saved them at the end. He found the guys and brought them back to Dorothy at the witch's castle. Like, he saved Dorothy from going up in that crazy hot air balloon. Like, jumping off. They would not get into Kansas in that hot air balloon.
Nope. I wouldn't trust it either.
The hot air balloon at Omaha.
We're definitely not in Kansas anymore.
I'm always so curious to know what actually happened to the wizard after. Like, I know it's in her brain, whatever, and it's a dream, but if it wasn't, I don't trust that he got home. If he could have gotten home, he would have done it before Dorothy, but that's just...
Do they ever say in the book? Do y'all know? Like, in the books, the later books, does it ever
I think
say?
he does, because I think she encounters him a couple times in Kansas, but then there's an earthquake that brings them back. He has a lot of weird ways that he gets them back to Oz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Does he have a thing for natural disasters?
I think so. Yeah, it's I think there's a flood. One of them is a flood, which they reused in Return to Oz. So she gets there via flood, earthquake. And I don't know if there's ever a magical way. I don't think she ever clicks the heels and gets back there, but Lauren might know.
I cannot remember anything from reading the books when I was younger. I just I'm so old. When Morgan said, I'm over 50. I'm over 50.
It wasn't intentional.
Kick Morgan off the chat again.
Okay, here we go. Bye, Morgan. Oh, she's back.
Weird, it just keeps glitching out. I'm not sure why.
Right? I don't. It's not me. She just keeps going to Oz. I don't know what it is. Anyway, Lauren, what's your favorite part of the movie, Lauren?
So, like others, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, I thought, it's interesting because I mentioned this in my video, that it was no secret that everybody thought that Judy Garland was just not the right body type, that she was chubby, and they gave her a complex, basically. And the executives watched Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and they said, we've got to get rid of this scene because nobody wants to watch a little fat girl singing for that long. So can you imagine this movie without Somewhere Over the Rainbow, or this world without that song? So it's very interesting. But I love that song so much. And then I love anything with the Scarecrow. I don't know why, I was obsessed with his makeup. And I what do you call it? If I Only Had a Brain, love that song. So
I sing that to myself all the time.
What?
Oh, me too.
So I sing that to myself all the time.
If I
Only Had a Brain.
Well, actually, this transitions perfectly into the next question. Some of the questions for the discussion tonight are actually coming from my Instagram followers, because I put out a request, and some of them gave me some awesome stuff. So this is coming from our friend Jeanette, aka TinkerJ787, who was with us last week.
Yeah.
Oh, Jeanette. Hey,
Yes,
Jeanette.
Nice to see you.
Hi, Jeanette. I don't know if Jeanette's watching now, but she's going to, I think, at least watching the replay. So this is the moment to appreciate Jeanette.
Hey, Jeanette. We enjoyed you last week.
Yeah.
So Jeanette asks, what is everyone's favorite character or the character they most identify with? And it can be two different answers, because I think generally it is kind of two different answers. My favorite character is the Scarecrow, the one that I most identify with. Maybe the lion, because cat. But anyway.
For you, that would be appropriate.
Exactly.
Because you don't seem very courageous.
No.
That's not true at all. Did you see how many live streams he's done over the last couple of months? That's very courageous.
Exactly. I auditioned for the Wizard of Oz, like a community theater production, when I was in high school, and I didn't get a callback or anything, but it was my proudest acting moment because I decided to read for the Cowardly Lion, and I treated him like a kitten, like a really over-energetic kitten. And so I did this whole thing where I was like on all fours, and then did the whole cat thing where like I took like used all my energy to stand up on 2 feet and be like, put him up. Put him up. And my interpretation was just too original for them because they ended up casting like a person who did an impeccable Burt Lahr impersonation. So I'm like, I get where your brain is at, directorial team, but you could have had originality.
Yeah, if they only had a brain, right?
Exactly.
You should have coughed up a hairball. That would have been great.
I actually did. That was actually a thing I did.
Was it really? That's awesome. Yes, hold on.
Did you film this? I wish you would have.
I wish I filmed it. I still kind of want to play the lion one day just to do that, but we'll see. Anyway, yes, Morgan, you had your hand up.
So my favorite character is Toto because I just love him. He's so cute. And
The R2D2.
the character I most identify with would probably be either Tin Man or the Scarecrow.
Very good, very good.
Yep.
I think that's the beautiful thing with the movie is that everyone can relate to one of the characters, at least like at some point in your life, whether you feel brainless, heartless, or not courageous, or are missing home, or just feel like a wicked witch, which sometimes I do. There you go. Who's next? Favorite character and character you most relate to? I will pick people.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Kaylee, you can go. Go ahead.
You go ahead. It's fine.
All right. So my favorite character is just like Morgan. I love Toto. He actually just but just doesn't care. It's just like, I'm just going to go along for the ride. Y'all crazy and you can do whatever you want. I'm just going to run alongside and just whatever. Let's just do this. Like, that's what I love about dogs' mentality. Like, they're just so loyal. They're just like, we're just going to do this. I have the brains, I have the courage, and I have the heart. Let's just knock it out. I'm just a little dog. Let's just do this. For me, though, I think if it was to be a character, I would be the Tin Man, though, because I feel like I have a decent amount of brains and I have a lot of courage, but sometimes I don't invoke enough heart. And sometimes I speak to people without being compassionate enough, and it sometimes comes off as inappropriate or mean. So,
Wow.
Need a little heart.
Wow, that's deep.
Whoa.
Meanwhile, I'm over here like I most identify. I feel like
Hey, I'm being honest here. I can't be honest.
No.
Like, you guys are like, now I'm gonna
this
leave. Like, thanks.
see, and this is
I'm trying to wear my heart on my
really
sleeve
deep.
here. You guys are like, nope, we're gonna rip that right out and throw that back to the wizard because you can't have that.
now this is you talking like you don't have a heart. So
He's showing us.
we love you.
And she's just stomping all over, like, oh, pull your heart out. Here you go. I married you 7 years ago. I'm gonna take it and stomp on it.
Wow. Well, my favorite character is definitely
The monkeys.
no, definitely not the monkeys. I don't know.
The witch.
I mean, I definitely feel like I most identify with Glinda the Good Witch just because I feel like I'm very optimistic and happy and trying to point people in the right direction without like giving them the answer. Like you've been able to go home all along. I told you that you could go home. You know, I didn't tell you how, but you know, I told you could do it. I don't know. I like it all. I think Dorothy's my favorite.
Oh yeah, Dorothy's.
I just love her naivety and just how she wants to help and just wants to get home, but she makes friends along the way. She's just sweet. And I love you.
Well, that's good.
Kaylee.
Okay, I think my favorite character is probably, I don't know, I like the Scarecrow a lot. Obviously, I like Dorothy, but I guess Scarecrow. And who do I relate most to? Probably one of the people from Oz screaming as the witch writes in the sky. That's probably, I mean, that's who I would be in Oz. I wouldn't be one of the main ones. I'd be like one of the village people screaming as the witch writes in the sky.
Hey, Oz is the place to live. If you can get into that,
I wouldn't be one of the salon girls. I can't do hair or makeup, but I can scream. That would be me.
Nice. I respect that.
Yeah.
Lauren.
I think Dorothy is one that I most relate to because I live in a one-horse town. It's boring here, and I'm always wanting to go over the rainbow. And whenever I go like somewhere else, I feel like, oh my god, Technicolor, it's beautiful. And I don't know, I love Judy Garland.
Oh, who doesn't? We're going to talk about Judy in a second. But Ajanaclair, same question.
Favorite character is hard because they're all so different. Like it's like you need all of them to have like the movie mean something. It's kind of like Sex in the City. You can't just have one. You got to have them all. I'm really good with like analogies. But in terms of the character, I feel like I relate to the most. I feel like I relate to the wizard. Like there are just times where I feel like I'm doing the best I can. You know, I'm trying to, you know, run things that I need to run and manage things and make it all happen. But at the end of the day, you feel like a big old fraud sometimes. And you're like, yeah, it looks good to everybody out there, but if you only knew what was really happening in here.
What's behind the curtain?
I can actually relate to, you know, trying to keep it together on the outside, but just being a complete mess on the inside.
Oh, I think we all can. That's such a good analogy. So we talked about Dorothy and Judy Garland. I would like to put this like seed into everyone's brain. What do we, and I talk about this in my video a little bit, what do we think the movie would have been like if it was actually Shirley Temple, which is a thing that almost happened, instead of Judy?
It just... Like, the scene of the lullaby lead, just imagine, like, seeing the lullaby lead for the entire movie. That's what it would be like.
She was so cute and she had like so much personality. I think you said it best in your video, Matt, when you said, you know, Judy Garland was acting and Shirley Temple was performing. Like that, I mean, Shirley Temple being Dorothy would be like me making Zoelle Dorothy, right? Like she could say the lines, she could do what she wanted to do, but I don't think she had the depth or the maturity to kind of bring out the emotion that was needed to be in that character, to be that character, to be a Dorothy, because she had a lot of like scenes where she cried, but she was able to pull them off where it was emotional and not whiny, because there's like a real fine line between just you know, and like just really kind of digging deep and bringing out like emotion and making people be able to kind of like empathize with you. Versus I feel like Shirley Temple, she started crying, like you would sympathize with her because she's a little kid and she's crying, but you don't really feel like that empathy that you need to feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think Judy's performance, I appreciate it so much more every time I watch the movie, because I think I just took for granted as a kid that she was just Dorothy living her life and being scared. But like now, understanding that this is like a 16-year-old who is carrying this entire movie, like emotionally and everything, she is so amazing, like to a level that I don't think we see in movies that much at all, let alone from somebody who's as young as she was. And like, I think, yeah, she's amazing. Does anyone just want to say anything else about Judy Garland and how much we love her?
I just can't put Shirley Temple in that position. Like I can't even place her there. I like, if she was there, she'd be in a room with all the other Munchkins. Like there would be nobody else. Like I just can't. I think Ajanaclair is correct. It's like there's an emotional level that Judy Garland was able to portray that someone as young as Shirley Temple would not be able to convey because of her age, because she doesn't understand those concepts yet because she was too young. That it wouldn't have made any sense. It would just have felt like you'd be sympathetic, but it was like you wouldn't feel emotionally attached. You're like, oh, it's just a kid crying. They don't really know what they're crying about. It doesn't make any sense.
It's just a little girl that wants to go home. And
you know, she wants some animal crackers in her soup or something. I have no idea.
Like how, like I'm just thinking about what it would sound like if her doing Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I can't hear it because all I can hear is animal crackers in my soup.
Yeah, I can't.
Like it wouldn't be Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It would it wouldn't. I feel like it would have to be like an upbeat song. Like
I think the reverse is true. I think you could put Judy Garland into Shirley Temple movies and it would be just as good, if not better. Like I think there's a difference there, and I think there's definitely the age gap there. And I just don't want Shirley Temple. I don't want to think about it anymore. Can we just change the topic? Like it just freaks me out. Like,
well, Lauren, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that I think also Shirley Temple had a lot of fame at the time, and I think sometimes it's nice to have somebody that is not as known in a role. And I think that it would have just kind of been, another Shirley Temple movie. That's what it would have been.
It's like the Olsen twins.
Huh?
It's like the Olsen twins. Like it's the same movie over and over again. It's the same Shirley Temple movie over and over again. It wouldn't have had its credibility.
Exactly. So that's why I think that that it also had to do with just her fame.
She's offended.
No, I just had this other thought of, you saying that, it would have just been like another Shirley Temple movie. I'm just thinking of like today's time of what that would kind of be. It's like, oh man, I just don't want to see another musical with Lin-Manuel Miranda writing it and starring in it. Like,
I don't.
I want something.
Hamilton's it. Like if you anything else past Hamilton, I'm done. I don't need it. He's already done enough with Hamilton.
Well, yeah, I think it's definitely that. I think Shirley definitely had the brand attached to her, and I can totally see how Wizard of Oz would have fallen into that.
It's marketing.
Yeah, and I don't think anything else would have. Yeah, I think the movie also would have just overwhelmed her, not like personally, but I feel like just because of the small stature and the way that her acting style was, I think the movie would have engulfed her. Like she just would have been lost in the yellow brick road, and I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah, it would have just been another cute little movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But I think
all I can think of,
and also Judy Garland's voice. Like, I mean, it had a level of pain to it, and I don't know if she was bringing I don't know like all of the outside jitter that you hear about what went on the set, behind the scenes, things that you don't know about. I don't know how much of that is true. You take everything with a grain of salt, but there's some truth in it somewhere. And even if only a fraction of it was true, it was bad, and like a fraction would be bad enough. So to imagine her having to deal with all of these outside factors and then still put on the performance that she did, where and if I had never seen that video and heard those things, I would have never suspected that there was anything but butterflies and rainbows happening on that set.
Yeah. It's she's an icon. Like that song made her an icon.
Absolutely. And like that's the story that is widely and mostly accepted, is that Shirley was just turned down because she couldn't sing well enough. Like I'd like to think they were smart enough to realize that she also just couldn't carry the movie. And also like it's such a different movie to have a 10-year-old versus a 16-year-old who can kind of take care of themselves, because and like this is my issue with the Into the Woods movie, actually, where I think Jack and Red are too young, and then them getting orphaned at that age makes it a tragedy, versus having them orphaned like when they're 15 to 16, like on the brink of adulthood. Then it becomes a legit coming of age story that you can invest in. But if you're like young to that point, certain plot points don't hit right, I feel like, both in Into the Woods and in Wizard of Oz. But yeah, and the thing with Judy, which I didn't get a chance to talk about in my video because it was already way too long, is that like most of the reason that her performance was what it was is because they brought in this guy, what's his name? The movie had like 5 directors. So they brought in one, George Cukor. I don't know how to say his last name. He's the guy who directed My Fair Lady with Audrey Hepburn, and then he did the Katharine Hepburn Little Women in like 1933. So they brought him in because their original director was taking the movie down a very like Shirley Temple-esque like direction, where he put Judy in this big blonde curly wig and was getting her to overact everything and be really melodramatic. And they realized like this is not a good movie, so we need to shift gears right away. So they ultimately gave Victor Fleming the director job, but before Fleming could get to the set, they brought in George Cukor to just fix everything, basically. So he's the one who told Judy, just act like a normal kid who is your age, because she was being forced to act like a silent movie star, basically. And he just he took off the blonde wig and said, remember, you're just a kid from Kansas. And I think Judy also had some anxiety issues. And he said, like, just everything that you're feeling is what Dorothy's feeling, so just use it. And I think even though he didn't shoot anything on the movie, I think like the 2 weeks that George Cukor spent on Wizard of Oz is what pretty well saved the movie and made it so good. And I adore him. So yeah, so that's fun. What else did I want to talk about? Okay, here we go. So this is something from Seth Lavender on the Instagram, and I think he's here watching as well.
Yeah.
Hi, Seth.
Hi, Seth. So this is a question from Seth that kind of leads into another thing I wanted to talk about, which is Wizard of Oz fan theories. So Seth's question was, why do we think the guy playing the wizard played a bunch of other characters? And I think that's just an interesting question in general, but it ties into this theory that I've read, which is that all the characters in Oz that he plays are just a wizard in different disguises to get information. Like, do we believe that that could be a thing, or do we think it was just a case of them trying to flesh out the role to get a worthy actor?
I like this to get secret
I didn't know he
information.
played other characters. I guess I'm not that.
Yeah,
he's
I
the
didn't
doorman.
get it either.
Yeah, he's
so-
the doorman. Who else
so
was he? I forgot.
he
I mean,
is-
wasn't he also the guy at the beginning in the
Oh yeah. He
The
was.
hot air.
So it
wasn't
kind
a
of
hot air
made
balloon.
sense in terms of how his character was in the beginning, where he took her photo and went through her basket to get information. Like it just made sense. Like he would play both of these different parts tied to the wizard. It made sense that he would play the wizard, considering in her real life, since everybody in Oz was somebody from her real life, considering he was the fortune teller, it only made sense for him to be the wizard and to be the person like that's collecting information, because otherwise he couldn't be the wizard. The same way if he didn't go through a basket, he couldn't be a fortune teller.
Oh my gosh, what a way to connect the dots. That makes so much sense.
That's it. Matt, next question. We don't have to go any further.
And skip.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
feel like
Yeah, because that was my understanding. Like all the characters in the movie, in the Oz were people that she generally knew in her real life. It's just a dream sequence where she's just building these characters in her mind, and the whole story is her dream sequence telling the story, and just the characters are just people that she knows, because all of the Scarecrow, the Lion, and the Tin Man are all her uncles or the farmhands, and that's why that's the way they are.
Oh, for sure. I think the big difference, though, is that all of them have like one dedicated Oz counterpart, but then Frank Morgan, the actor, like after he's Professor Marvel, once we move into Oz, he's the guy like the Who Rang That Bell guy, and he's the cabbie with the horse of a different color. Then he's the guy who's at the door crying about it. He's like, I'll get you in to see the wizard somehow. I had an Aunt Dem myself once, and then he's the wizard. So pretty well every male authority figure that they meet in Oz is played by the same guy.
Well, because that guy had those characters were the characters that had access to the wizard, and since he was the wizard, he was the only one who could have access to the wizard.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love that. And
but
to
I
me,
also
that's
think
now headcanon.
Well, and I think it also could be. I mean, obviously, you can go with the whole they wanted to pay one actor for all these different roles from a logistics standpoint, but also, wow, I just so lost where I was going with that. So like in Oz, I mean, kind of going off of Mike's thing of people that she knows in the real world versus in there, if she's from this small town of Kansas, she's always on her farm. She only is seeing this farmhand, and her aunts and uncles and, whatever, and the neighbor next door. She's now met this new person, presumably that, the fortune teller is this new person. And so maybe she doesn't know that many people, so she's filling in all of these different characters with just this one new guy because she doesn't know anybody else. So
I like it.
I thought
Wizard of Oz is really just a giant acid trip, but that's okay.
Oh, we all knew this. So now jumping off into other Wizard of Oz fan theories, this is kind of a do you buy into it or not, like a yes or no question, but something that I really like is a lot of people believe that the witch that's seen in the Twister scene is actually the Wicked Witch of the East and not just a generic witch. Do we buy this or not?
It is.
So when Mitch Sculch is like on her bike and then she turns into a witch, yeah, the general consensus on the internet is that that's the witch that she like kills.
Yeah.
I mean, she would have been there. So if her house crashes down and she's flying around They want you in the closest proximity, so it makes sense, wouldn't it?
It would.
Has anybody looked at her feet?
There is a case to be made for them to be sparkling. It could just be like the lighting effect that's going on, but there's like a little bit of like a flicker going on at the feet.
Does she have striped socks?
You don't see the socks because of the dress. Yeah.
I say yes.
I would go with that. I think that's a fair assumption, because how else would Dorothy place her? Like, Dorothy obviously didn't like her, so Dorothy maybe in her dream mind wants to kill her, so makes Dorothy a sociopath, but that's okay. She wishes her dead.
She didn't. Yeah.
You think about that's the only real that's the only death really.
Didn't they?
Well,
but
and the
didn't
Wicked
they
Witch of the
say
West.
like that was my sister, and it would make sense that her
Yeah.
sister was the Wicked Witch of the East, since she's the Wicked Witch of the West.
Mm-hmm.
Or I think maybe it could just also be a case of Dorothy attributing that one woman into like every evil person in the world.
Yeah.
Sort of the same way that we were talking about how
The wizard.
like splits off, Professor Marvel into all like the male authority figures. Every evil person is just embodied by Margaret Hamilton. But that actually leads us into the other fan theory that the internet absolutely loves, which is that it wasn't a coincidence that she fell on the Wicked Witch of the East, that it was in fact orchestrated by Glinda in an effort to take control of all of Oz. So this is the Glinda is evil theory, which I discovered this about a year ago. I read up on it today, and it kind of makes sense. The whole idea is that Glinda orchestrates Dorothy coming to Oz so that she can like very slyly use somebody else to get rid of all the other magical authority figures in Oz. So she kills off the Wicked Witch of the East. She sends Dorothy off on a mission that ultimately leads to the West Witch being destroyed. She gets rid of the wizard so that the only magical authority figure left is Glinda.
Oh my God.
It was a dream, guys.
Yeah, I say yes if it wasn't a dream.
It's a dream. It's a weird, trippy dream. None of that has any relativity. It's someone who literally has way too much time to think about it.
Unless there's like a weird like inception thing going on where Glinda is actually getting into Dorothy's head in her dream to take over the dream, to take over something in real life.
Or
that is
the
actually
wizard,
part of the theory, because Glinda doesn't have a Kansas counterpart.
Yeah.
The wizard
true.
is trying to get into the wizard from real life is trying to get into Oz, but the good witch is actually his sister who's helping him get in there, and it's Inception, and he's just trying to get through. And he actually gives Dorothy some sort of weird chemical, and that's why she actually passes out.
Matt, we need why The Wizard of Oz and Inception are in the same universe movie ASAP.
I mean, it is weird.
My brain really hurt.
But again, it's just a dream, so it's like it was all
a dream, exactly.
It was all a dream.
That just blew my mind, Matt.
I like your theory, Matt. I do.
I think if it wasn't a dream, I would fall 100% into that, and I'd be like, yes. So maybe book version, because in the book it's not a dream, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a dream.
It's real life. It's actually Oz is a real place versus it being a dream state.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I like Jen's comment here. In that sense, then 100% I agree.
We'll talk about Wicked, but I want to hear what Lauren has to say. Lauren.
It is weird that, I mean, like, I like your theory because it is weird. I always thought, why didn't she just tell her to click her slippers back in Munchkinland? She had her take this whole thing where she ended up having to kill the witch, and then at the end she's like, oh, by the way, all you have to do is click your slippers.
Have you ever tried to wake up from a dream?
Learn the
It's
lesson.
impossible.
I always thought it was the meanest thing.
She had to learn the lessons. Otherwise, she would have just gone back home being the same bratty kid that she was before she went to Oz.
Yeah.
I'm taking care of my dog correctly.
That's what I ultimately came up with, but I just think I kind
And
of
they
like
had to make
that
the movie
theory.
2 hours long.
You can't learn the lesson in the first 15 minutes.
And then heading down the path to Wicked. So, let's talk about the spin-offs. So how do we feel about, like, what is everyone's favorite Wizard of Oz spin-off? I know Wicked is a really big one. Kaylee.
Okay, this has got to be my last question because I've got to head out, but I'm gonna go ahead and answer. So mine, I actually haven't seen Wicked. Don't throw tomatoes at me, but but I am a big fan of the television show Once Upon a Time, and they did a little bit of like the Wizard of Oz there. That I won't say very much because I don't want to spoil it in case any of you guys have seen that, but they did a twist on it that I thought was very, very good. Even though I hated the character, but it was a good twist, and I really enjoyed them bringing the Wizard of Oz into Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, that made me. I was so happy when I wanted like an entire Oz season, which they denied me, and I was kind of angry. They just gave us that one character who I still don't know if I like her or not. Like I love the.
I hate her.
Yeah, there it is.
I hate her. Hater. But horrible character. I mean, I quit watching towards the end of that, but I didn't like. Anyways, we won't get into that. That is a whole different talk. I could go like an hour. We will not get into that. I also wanted to mention. I can't remember. I want to say it's called like Oz the Great and Powerful or something like that. But the one that has Mila Kunis in it.
Yeah.
That I thought was a really good and unique like spin on it. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. That one was like that made me just happy because it was kind of like further exploration into the 1939 Oz universe. Like for the most part, all the art direction was as close as it could be legally because they weren't legally allowed to make it in the same 1939 whatever, but like I love that movie so much. Oh, what we got? Return to Oz, one vote, which is my favorite. And I like what I find the most interesting with all these adaptations is that they all have to take a very clear stance on whether Oz is real or not. And I find that really interesting. So yeah, like whether we talk about that or just other adaptations in general, what are everyone else's favorite Oz alternates from this movie?
Really quick, bye guys. Thank you.
Bye, Kaylee.
Bye, Kaylee.
Hi.
Mine is Wicked the musical.
Nice.
Just because I love musicals, but then I do also love Oz the Great and Powerful. I watched that movie so many times in theater.
Oh, it was such a treat in theaters. Like just especially the way that it went, not just from black and white to color, but like from 4:3 to 16:9 in an actual movie theater. Wow, my mind was blown. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
And any other Wicked fans?
Me, yeah.
Tell us about Wicked.
Oh, well, I could tell you a whole bunch about Wicked, but I won't. I saw it. Oh, thank you. I saw it in Boston when it toured in Boston, and it is, I would say if there's one show that I'm like, Mike, you need to go and see because like I've seen a handful of shows and he hasn't. Wicked is top of the list. I was listening to it in the car today to prepare for this evening, and I love it. I always wanted to be Elphaba. Idina Menzel was like my go-to person vocally. Like I always thought that I was really cool in like middle school and high school because I was the only one of my friends that could hit the low notes, and I'm not that girl. Because all my friends were sopranos, and I was in denial that I was a mezzo. So I was like, oh, I can hit these low notes, and they're all like, I'm like, oh, no. And I'd like hit them and they're like, whoa, no way. I'm like, yeah. And now it's like a piece of cake to hit. But yeah, the music's great. The storyline's great. I have yet to finish the book. I've started reading it like 4 different times and then just life happens and I don't finish it. Such as my life with reading books in general. So it is, I'm like a third of the way through it at the current time, but it's fantastic. 10 out of 10 recommend. And Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth, like, what could go wrong?
Oh, just like it's like having 2 equal and opposite forces. Like just there it goes.
Yes.
Morgan and Ajanaclair, do you have a favorite alternate Wizard of Oz adaptation?
I mean, the only other adaptation of Wizard of Oz I've seen was I would consider this. I love The Wiz. I feel like The Wiz. Would that be considered?
Yeah.
What is Mackenzie?
That is a great movie.
Like I was like about to say, I've only seen Wicked, but that's like an extension of like the backstory of the Wicked Witch of the West. But I mean, if I had more time and talent, I would have totally done some kind of comparison between The Wizard of Oz and The Wiz. They're so, like, the storyline is clearly the same, but they're just two completely different movies.
Yeah. Oh, The Wiz is
And
fantastic.
and I feel like you can't, like, for me, I can't have, like, life without either.
Yeah. Oh, this is making me want to do a follow-up project in like a month or two where it's Oz month. So we could do like The Wiz, Oz the Great and Powerful.
I would totally
I
do
mean,
that.
Michael Jackson as the Scarecrow,
Yes.
Diana Ross as Dorothy.
Yeah.
The production design in that movie is just, it's kind of like a fever dream, but one that I love. Like as a kid, it was so magical, like just seeing kind of abandoned New York City. And when they get to Emerald City, that sequence where like they just keep changing the colors is like, yeah, no, green's out. Now it's all about yellow. And it's all stoplight colors. And
Yeah, those.
so
I love that
Now,
sequence.
that
I
movie
love
had
that
some
sequence.
scary scenes.
It does. It's terrifying.
It had some dark and twisted scenes.
yes, no, that
And
was
Lena Horne as Glinda.
Glinda, oh my gosh.
Oh,
it
God,
was
so good. She's
Lena
so good.
Horne is Glinda.
Yeah.
Yes, you didn't know that?
No, it's been a long. I only kind of Lena Horne hit my radar very recently, and I haven't seen The Wiz for a while. So this is one of those moments where dots connect, and I get really excited.
Yes, Russell was the Tin Man.
Yep.
I forgot who was the lion.
I'm gonna go over here to my island of misfit toys because I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, you will during Wizard of Oz month, Mike. Don't worry.
I'm
Oh,
not
you
going to
know,
participate because I've never seen anything outside of the Wizard of Oz.
Who's the Wicked
Okay,
Witch?
if
It's
you, guys,
Mabel King?
if you like Michael Jackson, do you like Michael Jackson at all? Like,
his
if
name
you're
is
a Michael
Michael, so
Jackson
yeah.
fan,
I mean, I like Michael Jackson. I love his music. I mean, I can watch Thriller over and over again. I mean, there's not much Michael Jackson you can't watch.
It's like Thriller on steroids.
I'm sorry.
Who's watching Marvel?
Sorry about that. That was.
Is Tony
was
Stark
like,
in this movie?
The Wiz?
Is he in The Wiz? I will watch it if it's Tony Stark is in there.
Home is like the Wiz's version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Like when Diana Ross sings Home, oh my
Oh
god.
my god.
Oh my
so
yes!
good. Now I gotta watch The Wiz again. Now
I know,
I'm
they
good.
make
There's
it
also
We should create our own version. We call it All Roads Lead to Oz, and it's just like multiple threads of people falling asleep and dreaming, and they actually all make their way to Oz, and they all have this weird giant entanglement in Oz where it's like,
I would
how
love
did you
that.
get here? And like,
Matt, you
there are
did your
different
Scrooge.
stories, and
You
like,
did Scrooge. Do this.
That's true. Actually,
You-
Wizard of Oz is public what I could do that. We'll see. What was I going to say about The Wiz? Oh, this is unrelated to anything, but it's important that the world knows that the Wiz never scared me as a kid. Then when I rewatched it as an adult the first time, the Munchkin Land scene gave me nightmares when they're coming out of the graffiti.
Oh my gosh, that whole movie,
Yeah.
that whole movie, there were so many scenes in that movie that
Yes.
were
Yeah.
like, just, oh my gosh, like these characters are, and it was scary. It was like a lot of dark alleys. Like I felt like the movie was in like a lot of dark alleys.
I know nothing.
Mhm.
It was scary.
That's Michael
As a kid.
Jackson for you.
Yes.
What'd you say, Morgan?
That's Michael Jackson for you.
Yeah. Well, Michael Jackson isn't scary. But
Everybody likes the little.
that
Bible.
whole, yeah,
To
that
you,
movie
he's
was
not
just-
scary. To me, he was petrifying as a child.
Oh. Yeah, well, kind of all
In
of the
Wiz
Wiz.
or just generally?
In general,
Interesting.
I didn't even know he was actually black until I was like 15.
Oh my god.
What?
Because I only ever knew him as like holding a child out the window about the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a time when he kind of
Wow.
was.
Yeah, late Michael Jackson.
That was
In
some
my brain,
weird
he's like my first
issues.
intro to Michael Jackson was actually The Wiz. So in my mind, he's always the Scarecrow, and like that part where he's like, "Look, I have no brains," and then it's just like newspaper. Like in my head, that's classic Michael Jackson.
Okay,
And
I
then
have to watch this
people
now because
like
I'm like super
literally-
intrigued because like
Travel the world and cry and die to see Michael Jackson. Like he was a legend. Like
Mhm.
a legend. He
What-
became a little kooky in his older days, but even in his older years, even before he died, regardless of what he looked like, the talent was undeniable.
his performances were still.
Undeniable. Regardless of whatever he had going on in any stage in his life, he was talented. He could dance, he could sing, he could act, he did it all. Amazing.
Absolutely.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I actually worked in Florida in 2002, and I worked at a resort with a bunch of kids from the UK, and they literally were like gung ho about Michael Jackson in 2002. It was like it was new to them. Like they had just discovered Michael Jackson.
Well, that's about when Morgan discovered Michael Jackson too. So
Morgan was a child, but
that kid.
they were
Mackenzie,
my
I'm
age.
with
But
you, girl. I am with you.
I
mean,
think I was in like 3rd grade when he died.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Who are you, Morgan?
Oh my
are
god.
you serious?
Michael is a king today, tomorrow, always.
I mean, if
I
you're skipping
remember
to the
I was
radio and
in
you hear
the
Michael
theater
Jackson song come
and,
on,
like,
you're stopping to
my
listen
mom
to
would,
it.
like,
It
yell,
doesn't matter
she's
who
like,
you are.
Michael Jackson is dead, and I was like, who? And
Oh
then we
my
came out, and
God.
then we came over and we saw the picture.
Gosh.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And I, like,
Okay, so
left.
You are
The big
killing me, Morgan.
the big conclusion
Yeah,
here is
right?
that
Like, yeah.
the conclusion here is that we need to do a
I
follow up.
can't get Ease on Down the Road out of my
We
head either. That was almost my intro. Like I started to do something along the lines of like ease on down, ease on down. Oh wait, wrong movie.
Oh,
Don't
I
you
hate
carry nothing that might be low. Come on, ease on.
Exactly.
I'll have to watch
And
it.
I like there are very few songs that could hold up and compare to Follow the Yellow Brick Road. And I think it's amazing that like Ease on Down the Road serves the same purpose and like is just as good. Because
That
I
is like
don't
the
and
typical tap song that you
Ease on Down the
do
Road?
in like when you're like 7 is Ease on Down the Road.
oh yeah, it's so
And yet
so
you know
good.
nothing about the Wiz.
No, I know a lot about the Wiz. I know a lot about the Wiz, but I learned
Oh.
that like when we did our Wizard of Oz recital,
Mhm.
and all of my dances were from the Wiz,
Nice.
so I had to
It's just,
watch
like
it.
the music is so good.
The music
But actually,
is so
This
good.
this whole
But I
question
didn't
like
know
the
like Michael Jackson was in it.
surprise. Well, this is why we're gonna watch The Wiz for Wizard of Oz month. Can't wait.
Yay! Oh my
I'm
gosh.
in. I am in.
I'm totally in. I'm totally in.
But I was gonna say, oh yeah, so the Michael Jackson conversation actually it makes me think of something else I wanted to talk about, the Wizard of Oz, just in terms of legacy. There are very few things, and I think like Michael Jackson, Wizard of Oz, also kind of Madonna. Like there are certain things that I think just transcend generations. They like just speak
Madonna,
to people.
definitely.
Yeah.
Mhm,
And I don't know why
Because-
Madonna came into my mind, but I think that's another one where no
The
matter like,
Titanic.
When you think of Michael Jackson and all of when you're talking about Michael Jackson and you're thinking about all of the different Michael Jacksons over the time period, it's only natural that you start to think about Madonna because she was the same. She reinvented herself so many different
over
times.
and
Like,
over again.
every
Yeah.
single time she came out, it was like she was a whole completely different person. Like, you know, I'm a virgin. Madonna is completely different from, you know, Papa Don't Preach is completely different from Who's That
Dick
Girl.
Tracy.
Like it's like a different artist, completely different.
So,
So
what do
I
we
get
think it is that solidifies a legacy like that? Whether it's for the Wizard of Oz, Michael Jackson, Madonna, like what are the qualities that allow something to not necessarily die out with time, but just get stronger as
I
time
think
goes
it's
on?
transcending generations or transcending decades. Like Michael Jackson, Madonna, for me, Robin Williams, they were able to continue to reinvent themselves as
Mhm.
the decades progress, and they stay relevant. Like you still think about Madonna now, like she hasn't done a lot lately, but she did stuff here in the mid 2000s, and like she was like popular, and like Michael Jackson was popular with music right up, and you know, he's still popular now. People still probably millions of people in the world are probably jamming out to Michael Jackson right now. Like people just continue to recognize who you are. You leave this legacy of impact on people that they want to continuously listen and be part of your story, and they still want to keep telling your story.
Well, and I think to kind of bring it back
It's like Ernesto de la Cruz.
I think kind of like to bring it back to like the Wizard of Oz too, is that the thing that they kind of all seem to have in common is that they're all kind of almost ahead of their own time. So it's like, you know, yes, it was made in the 30s technically, but it's something that didn't feel like it was made in the 30s. It still like had that timelessness about it. And like kind of the same with like Michael Jackson and Robin Williams and all these people, is that they not only have they reinvented themselves over time, but when they started, they were doing something that's different than what was happening around them in the world, but that also kind of changed everything in the world that now is almost a standard. I mean,
Yeah, you don't have pop music without Michael Jackson at
Yeah.
all. It doesn't exist. The whole genre is dead without Michael Jackson.
Mhm.
And he was continuously able to be in the forefront of pop music for like decades.
yeah, I mean, look at Elvis. I mean, Elvis
Mhm.
was something that was completely different at the time,
Elvis,
but that
yep.
kind of kicked off a whole
rock
brand
and
new.
roll genre.
I think it's being something or being someone that starts something because you're unique. So note to self, everybody be unique and start your own thing because it could kick off a whole new whatever.
Well, the thing for me though with The Wizard of Oz though is as classic of a movie it is, and everyone should watch it, and I think generally most of the population has. But for me, like Judy Garland, like I personally don't know anything else Judy Garland's done. Judy Garland for me is only The Wizard of Oz. Because that role solidified her in who she would be, and she kind of typecast herself. Like that's literally who you know her to be. She couldn't live outside of that. So the movie is a legacy, but for me, Julie Garland isn't considered a legacy style person.
Didn't she die like shortly after the film?
No, she
No.
died 48, I think.
No, 69.
Oh, she was 69?
No,
Well,
I thought you meant
I
the
heard
year.
were true that in that little rumor video that I heard, it would make sense that you wouldn't really see much of her outside of this because of all of the struggles that she had on this set. So she didn't really have an opportunity to do much. But let's not forget, she gave us Liza.
She did.
She did.
That's
Absolutely.
her legacy.
Well, she's immortalized
She's immortalized
by
and she gave us
The Wizard of Oz.
Liza.
And she gave us Liza. I love that. No,
Liza
actually, the
who?
Minnelli.
Minnelli.
Wait, what?
Liza Minnelli is Judy Garland's daughter.
Do you know who Liza Minnelli is?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Well,
Judy's
So
daughter.
Judy
She's the
Garland is
daughter
her
of-
mother.
I make fun of her. Mama,
So when you're
what did you
asking,
do?
like, what is Judy Garland's legacy? What did she give us outside of The Wizard of Oz? She gave us Liza Minnelli.
Liza
Like, that's enough.
That's true. It's like if Debbie Reynolds gave us.
There's not a lot of subtle Hamilton references here, and I've been totally okay with it and keeping my mouth shut.
Well, because I thought Ajanaclair said Eliza, and I'm like, how do we get to? I don't get the Hamilton reference. Like, it could be enough. And I'm like, I don't get what's going on here. How did we get there? I can't make the gap. But Eliza Minnelli actually makes more sense.
Legacy. What is a legacy?
No,
Yeah, you guys keep going on, and like, I get some of them. But Hamilton is like the only musical that I can be relative to because I actually have watched it a handful of times.
Oh, we'll educate you, Mike. Don't worry. But
No, I'm good.
the other Judy Garland, the only other Judy Garland movie I've seen, which was again relatively recently, was the Judy Garland A Star Is Born, because I marathoned all the Star Is Borns before the Bradley Cooper Lady Gaga movie came out, and she's incredible in that. Like
really
that's
good.
basically Judy as an adult living up to her full potential. Like her voice is amazing, and
Yeah.
the acting is like, oh, out of all the Stars Is Borns that's the one I think is the best.
Borns
even though, yeah,
Hold on. Put that comment. Put that Martha's comment. I gotta read that.
My favorite Judy Garland musical outside of Wizard of Oz is Meet Me in St. Louis.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was-
that
I
was
auditioned
so
for
good.
Eliza Minnelli, and she
Can we
wanted to
go
steal
back to this comment?
What? Oh,
Okay, so first I thought this meant that he was auditioning for like a role
as
Liza Minnelli, but
I was
then
like, yeah.
no.
but then I
I
figured
auditioned
out that
for-
So you
Oh,
met Liza Minnelli? Oh my god.
I was 6, apparently. She was having a giant open audition in Toronto for a music video that she was doing that I don't think actually got produced, but it was a music video for AIDS fundraising, and she wanted a bunch of little kids to like hold candles and look sad while she sang. So I was
Oh.
there, and like she was actually in the audition. I have no clue why, looking back, why she like devoted her time to sitting in on an open call where there were just like hundreds of kids cycling in. But yeah, I went in with a group of probably 10 other kids, and then she just like took us through some very basic dance moves, and then she came up to me and she was like, no, just like hold the candle like you mean it. And that was it. And that was my interaction with Liza Minnelli.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I didn't know who she was at the time, but now looking back, like I met Liza Minnelli. I know.
wow.
Awesome. What do we got here? Thank you. I could play Liza. Life is a cabaret,
I,
old chap.
I dare you.
And
That
I
was
love
funny. What's funny
cabaret.
is that I thought that when Martha's comment went up, I thought that she said you played Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, that's what we were
when you
thinking
were
too.
6 years
Like,
old.
he actually was trying to play, like, actually
I did
act
not.
as her.
I did not.
At 6 years old.
Anything possible. All right, so I want to move on to the game. I'm so
Yes.
excited.
Yeah.
Yes. So here we go. Oh, actually, before we get into the game, I should probably acknowledge that Margaret Hamilton's my favorite part of the movie because the Wicked Witch of the West is amazing, and she is terrifying and brilliant, and I love Margaret Hamilton. That's the end of that story because the game is all about witches. So the game has 2 parts. The first part is, are you a good witch or a bad witch? All right, now get your writing utensils out, and I'm going to have a scoreboard that's a whiteboard now, so it makes things easier.
It only took
Getting
you to
used
the
to
last
that
episode.
What do we write on it?
So write good witch or bad witch.
Okay.
Or just good and bad, I guess.
Or good and bad. All right. And there are going to
Getting
be...
use out of that whiteboard there, Matt?
What about the whiteboard?
You getting use out of it?
Yes, I am. This is like the best $2 I've ever spent. Oh, yeah, and it's good luck. It won me that trivia last week. It was awesome.
Oh, you won that? Congratulations.
It did. Thank you. Please send me the
do not
trophy.
congratulate him.
I got it right here for you.
Yep, I'm ready for it. Send it over.
You have to come down and pick it up, though. I will not be shipping it.
After September 18th. That's when vaccination 2 happens.
Okay, I'll
That's
see you on
crazy.
September 19th. I'll see you.
Okay.
Man, there's some
All
other
right.
days, like, that's such a long time between.
I know. No, it's speeding up, though, because hashtag Canada. All right, so I'm going to name a fictional witch. I will not tell you what this witch is from, but you have to tell me if it is a good witch or a bad witch. And no trick questions. No trick questions. They're either good or bad. There's none of this like morally gray zone type of deal. No, like I picked witches that are distinctly good or bad.
These are like real fictional witches. These aren't something you made up, right?
Oh no, these are real witches. They're from either TV shows or movies. Some of them might be characters you've never heard of, but then when I tell you what they're from, like 85% chance you'll be like, I've heard of that. So here we go. All right, the first. Samantha Stevens. Is she a good witch or a bad witch?
I don't know.
Isn't she from...
Oh, wait.
Oh. Where's she from?
Okay, and everyone's right. She is a good witch. She is, of course. But what is she from? Anyone want to say?
Bewitched.
Bewitched. Very good. All right, next. Winifred Sanderson.
Ah, that one I got.
Maybe I'm starting off too easy, but we'll see where it goes. You're
I
all
didn't know
correct.
that last
You're
one.
all wrong. She's a good witch. She
She
has the
is
right
not.
intentions. You guys just think
She's
she's a
good
bad
at what
witch.
she does
She
as a
was-
witch.
Yeah, she's good at what she does, but she wants to suck the lives out of children.
She's a good witch because she's doing a good job at it.
We're talking about morals,
I don't
not
know.
about how
She
good
did-
is the
she
job
sucked
she
the
does.
life out of the one she.
I mean, we can have that
Nice.
discussion on the next live stream. There we go. Okay, next. Oh, wait, where's my list? Come on, witches. Nesseros Throp.
Huh?
Nesseros Throp.
That just sounds bad. I have no idea who that is.
Morgan, is yours bad?
Yes.
Yes, she is a bad witch. Does anyone want to tell us what
No,
she's
she wasn't.
Yes,
I
she
was
I
was.
don't know,
I
but
was
a
born.
name like Nessa Rose Thrupp, that sounds like somebody who's just not
That
a
sounds
good
like a baddie.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
but then there's
well,
Severus Snape. He was a good
Lauren,
witch.
if you
That's
can
a bad
convince me
name.
otherwise, I'll give you the point because I feel like you know who she is.
Yeah, she's from Wicked.
Why
The-
why
she
do you
was
think she's a
the-
good witch?
She was a Wicked Witch of the East. But I mean, at the same time, I don't know. I just thought I sympathized with her.
Oh yeah, like
So-
she's a sympathetically bad character, but she enslaves Munchkinland and she like enslaves
True.
Puck because she's in love with him and he doesn't reciprocate. Like that's not healthy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, she's a bad, but
Oh,
All
fuck.
right, fine.
Bad witch.
She
Even though I
enslaved
liked
the
her.
Munchkins.
She does. But I'll give you the point because you knew who she was. So there we go.
Yay.
If Lauren wins by 1 point, Matthew.
I know.
Matt, we're not doing this.
Oh, Julius knew that too. Good job, Julius. All right. Eglantine Price.
Say it again.
Eglantine Price. You're all correct. She is a good witch. What is she from?
Bed knobs and broomsticks.
Yes. Angela Lansbury. We love her.
That girl.
Okay.
Of course, how can we go along without mentioning her?
Remember, I'm old, so I know.
Wizard and witch is the same thing. He's actually a warlock, but that's okay.
But I know who Angela Lansbury is because I watched Murder, She Wrote growing up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have the Murder, She Wrote Funko Pop. The good one. She's holding a little flashlight. It's adorable.
Wait, is there a bad one?
What? No. Of course not. What am I saying? There are no bad Funko Pops. Had a moment. Okay.
I don't know. That what was it? That Ginny one you had? She looked pretty bang up.
Oh no, Hermione.
The Hermione?
Yes. Dollar store Hermione. Looked like she had been in a fight.
Oh, you had to watch Matt's video to understand.
I love the advertising.
Those who don't understand didn't watch your video, so
The right people will understand.
I
Okay,
love
now-
it.
Oh, wait, who was it that said I was cultured?
That was-
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie. Thank you, Mackenzie. You're so
He's calling you yogurt. You're cultured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm
When
like
you say yogurt, I think Spaceballs. Now the next one is more geared towards the younger crowd. So
Yay!
Here we go.
Ooh.
Morgan and I are ready.
Agatha Cromwell.
Ah!
Who's been?
Okay. Oh, we've got a divide here.
Oh no, she's good. I've got the wrong.
Oh, no,
one.
it's the
I don't know who Agatha Cromwell is.
Lauren
I
and
know
Morgan get the
Agatha,
point.
and I thought WandaVision.
She's good. She's from Halloween Town.
Yes.
Oh, I've never
Yeah.
seen Halloween Town. Is that a movie?
She's Debbie
No,
Reynolds.
so she's back.
Yeah,
That's a
Debbie
bad
Reynolds.
movie.
No, it's not. It's a great movie.
It's a 4-part series on Disney,
is.
and they're
It's
all
a
on
franchise.
Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's amazing, except the fourth one. You can skip the fourth one.
Oh yeah,
Gotta do a
'cause
whole
they
Wizard Witch
recast
thing.
what's her face. They recast.
Yeah,
the
they
main girl.
recast
Kimberly, whatever her name is.
Yeah,
Marnie.
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 I watched
And-
those growing up. Those were my. That was
They
my
didn't
jam.
even give her a wig.
Every Halloween, a new one.
They made her blonde. It's like if you're gonna recast her, at least try to make her look like the same person. But no.
Right.
Okay, next.
Have
Oh,
you seen the Fresh Prince of Bel Air? They don't try to make you look like the same person. Aunt Viv was a whole different woman. She was like a foot shorter and everything.
well, TV shows live by a very different logic. There were two Darrens in Bewitched, and no one questioned it either. Okay, this is one that I'm almost positive all of you will know who the character is, but you won't know that she has this name. The name is Jadis.
Oh,
Jadis.
I'm thinking The Walking Dead.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
going to say that. I'm thinking Walking Dead.
I'm like, she's
Jade
not,
with like the cut off bags, like
she's not a witch, but
But with a name like Jadis, she's got to be bad.
She is bad. So she's a bad witch. Does anyone know who she is or what she's from?
Was she from the Narnia?
Yes, she's the White
Yeah.
Witch.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
oh,
I've never seen Narnia.
Oh, you need to see some Narnia, Ajanaclair. It's so good. It's a classic. And the remake, like the Tilda Swinton Narnia, is surprisingly good. For
I
like
read the
remake.
book.
my
It is.
They
It's
only
really
referred
good.
to her.
idea of doing the opposite. Everyone else is not paying off.
Okay, next. Oh, okay. I don't think anyone's gonna get this, but if you do, I love you.
Yes, Mackenzie. Yes, girl. Yes.
Aw.
Logan, ready for it.
Florence Zimmerman.
Ooh, I've heard
Oh my
that
God.
one before.
Florence Zimmerman.
No, don't. You have to keep the one that you had.
Nope, I'm changing because you guys are all doing.
Okay,
Let
I'm
me get
taking
one
a
here.
point from Mike. Yes, she's a good witch.
Because it's
Is
not
she
like-
Yeah, she is from The House with the Clock in Its Walls, which is a book series that I adore that no one else has really heard of. She was played by Kate Blanchett in the movie with Jack Black like 2 or 3 years ago. She's a very good witch.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yes. So good.
I
Okay.
watched that. I love Jack Black.
Oh, I love it.
Kung Fu Panda.
It's not a good movie, but I love it.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda is awesome. I love Jack Black.
And he was in that School of Rock.
School of Rock. He punted Baxter.
Okay, next.
Anchorman, where he kicks him off the bridge.
Nope.
That was Jack Black.
Yeah,
I didn't watch that.
What?
Add
That
it
was
to the
such a
list.
bad idea.
Now, this is the last question for the Good Witch or Bad Witch round, and then we move into the Witch round. So,
But no, I'm doing so good. Oh no.
Next.
Wait,
Matt,
we lost you, Matt.
Can you
He
hear?
froze. We didn't hear anything he said.
Can you hear me?
Shell
Can you
House,
see me?
such a good movie too.
Okay, yeah, now
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Envy was a great
Oh,
movie
nope.
as well.
Nope, you're not
you
there.
froze again.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Back now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me
Good.
now?
Yes,
Okay.
kind of.
But you keep freezing.
Oh no.
Well then, I'm
There
gonna
you
put
are.
it on. I'm gonna put it on the thing. Oh, I'm here. You hear it now?
I would suggest putting it on the thing.
You're coming
Okay.
in and out.
Okay.
Who's been messing up everything?
It was Agatha.
Oh, I know.
Do. Oh, it's not. Oh, can you?
Why don't you write on your whiteboard and hold it up to the screen?
But we can't see his screen either.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it'd be the easiest way to get it out.
Not if
All
we
right,
can't
you're
see his
back.
screen.
Oh, I thought you were back for a minute.
It's slowly updating though, so it
I
actually would get there.
know.
Matt, just text it to me. I'll read it. You don't have to say if it's good or bad.
Great healthcare. Horrible
Maybe
internet.
go out and come back in.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
That always works for me.
I'm just gonna make up a witch.
The internet is on the birds.
Now I had one that I was thinking of.
Even the internet can't cross the border.
Ooh. I was gonna go with Hilda Spellman.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, there's Matt.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh man.
Okay, well, hold on. He texted me, you guys. Not that we have the... Wait, Matt, are you back this time? No, you're not. Okay, so he says Theodora.
Theodora.
Theodora was well.
I don't know.
I don't know who Theodora is.
Okay, Matt, text me if it was good or bad.
Although Matt's face is just froze, he's like,
I know.
Well, I love when he came back on.
He looks like a misfit.
everybody's just
Yeah.
making the same face, so we have like one clip of everybody going.
Oh my God.
And it was bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Darn.
Great.
She was bad. Theodora was bad.
I
I got that right.
She's from
Thanks
Oz
for
the
coming
Great
in
and
great
Powerful.
from Canada, but the video here for Matt is just not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mackenzie. I was thinking Theodosia too when they said Theodora. Theodosia.
Yeah,
she
Theodosia.
every day.
What does it say to you?
You
Is
will
that
come
from
of age with our young nation.
Oh.
Oh, I feel bad for Matt.
He says that he can see everything in real time. It's such a tease with a laughing emoji.
Just refresh.
That's what she said.
Oh, he
Just
comes
refresh,
back on for a
refresh.
second.
It's not the same without you, Matt.
I know.
Okay, he's going to refresh. I know, it's weird. It's his own live stream isn't the same without him. It's weird.
Move into your office. That's what Martha says.
I think you should upgrade your internet, Matt. Ooh, I heard your laugh.
What's your internet
Can you hear
speed?
Yeah, I see
you
your
go.
hat.
Yeah, hey,
moving.
look, Matt, look up.
Look up.
Hey, you're here.
There you- Yay.
No.
Oh. Darn it!
Wait, if we
Hit
don't say
refresh.
anything, if we don't say
Restart.
anything, we
Just
won't know.
restart your computer. Or are you on your phone? Restart your phone. That always works for me.
Although I think if he does that, then it might cancel us all out. So
No,
maybe
no, no, that's out because
Oh.
Morgan and I have been on StreamYard for like hours after like the host has left the building.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he could leave and come back and we'll still be here, see?
Okay, guys, don't say anything mean about him. He's gone, but he'll be able to watch this in the future.
Yes, always remember what happens on the internet stays on the internet.
Yeah, we were actually back, like the live had ended and we were backstage and we were on the phone for like 2 hours after everybody left and it was fine. And it wasn't even our StreamYard.
Well, this is also a good time for us to
I
plug
know, I was
Matt.
cooking steak at like 3 a.m.
So guys, let's give a big shout out to Matt because he's 1 subscriber away from 800
God.
subscribers.
I know.
Wow!
So if you're
Yay!
not subscribed to Matt's channel, do it.
I thought he was at 800 when I got in the live.
No, he's at 799. He's chilling.
No, that was the YouTube thing. They took one away. He was at 800.
Well, somebody else go and do it, just in case.
They stole it from him.
Yeah.
Robbed.
We always lose one here and there. It just happens. It's just the system.
Yeah, guys, if you're in this chat, make sure you hit the thumbs up button.
Yeah.
Give him a like,
He's
guys,
good
because
in
it
the-
puts it up higher.
And make sure you
And
subscribe
which
to everyone's
there's 7
channel.
people watching and 6 thumbs up and 1 thumbs down. So which one of y'all did it? Who did
I
it?
did the
Yeah.
thumbs down.
Thumbs
Make sure I
down.
didn't hit thumbs down.
Why
Who
would
hit
you
the thumbs down? You hit the wrong button.
Yeah.
They clearly came into the chat at the wrong time when he was buffering or something. Like, it was definitely not when we were talking about actual Wizard of Oz.
It's all about the likes, guys. It's all about the likes. Click the like button.
All about it. It's all about it.
Hey, he's at 800!
Yay!
Yay!
Huzzah!
Somebody did it. Good job, guys. Whoop, whoop. And also, my mother texting me.
You guys almost done?
That's-
Josiah's getting anxious.
It actually says, almost done. We would be.
Everyone wins.
Everybody's a winner.
How
I'm
is
actually
it
doing good this week. No, we gotta finish this.
So how does everyone rate Matt's
There we
internet
go.
service today?
So who's in the lead? Can we figure that out?
It ain't me.
Probably Lauren.
I don't know because I never keep score.
It's always Lauren.
No, Lauren got some wrong.
I got them all but 2 wrong.
Oh,
Maybe
wait.
1 wrong. I got all but one wrong. One
I
right.
think I think I got one wrong.
Darn.
Then we're tied, Lauren.
Am I back?
Yay!
Yay!
302
It
subscribers
wasn't the
now.
same without you.
Thank you. Thank you for
You
carrying
reached
on.
800, Matt.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, this
You're
is
at
good shit.
802 now.
You've gained 3 subscribers since you've been gone.
Oh my gosh, I should like not be on my channel more often. This is amazing. Hold on. Am I monetized now? Okay. Next. Okay.
No,
So
but you're
to review
monetized.
the scores so far, Lauren and Morgan are tied for first with 8 points.
Yes!
What? I got them all right.
Wait, you did?
No, she
I thought I
didn't. No,
did.
you didn't. You didn't get.
What did
you
I
didn't
get wrong?
I have you
You
at
got
6.
whatchamacallit wrong. You got Agatha Cromwell wrong.
Oh, that was 1. Okay, so I should have 7 then.
7? Okay. And-
No,
I only got
no,
1
don't
wrong.
lie. Don't lie.
I only got 1
Okay,
right, so
you're
that's
right.
fine.
I only got 1 wrong. Okay, listen, I don't do well at trivia, so when I'm doing well, I want every single point. Every single point.
You never saw the live me and Matt were on last Thursday. That
oh
was
my gosh.
tragic.
I watched some of it, and you guys were going like you were like battling hard, like you were
Yeah.
like freaking out at Matt because he had all the points, and you had like the lowest points, and then you got a bunch of points, and it was actually quite amusing.
It was, that was neck and neck.
Oh, I
And,
missed this.
I don't think Kenny realized who I was because he kept saying M Hyde, and I was like, he doesn't know who I am.
like, what's an M Hyde? I don't get it. Okay, so then Ajanaclair is in second with 7 points, tied with Amanda with also 7, and Mike has 4.
Oh, I have 4. That's more 4 more than I thought I had.
Wow.
So for this
Yes,
next
sir.
round, hey, we have a friend. For this next round, it's called Which. Oops. I'm gonna mute you friends whilst we do that. So For this next round, it is called Which Witch, and I am going to name an actor who has played a witch in The Wizard of Oz. You have to tell me if they played the witch of the North, West, East, or South.
No, don't do it, Matt.
Yep. So I'm going to give you the actor. You have to tell me which directional witch they are. All right? North, East, South, or West. The first three will just be worth 1 point. The final one will be the all or nothing round. Okay, so
Are
here
you
we
gonna
go.
do one from each?
Who knows?
So if I guess North 4 times, I'll eventually be right.
Who knows? Who knows? So here we go. Which witch did Billy Burke play? Which witch did Billy Burke play?
Oh, which witch? I thought you meant what?
Sandwich.
direction.
Nope. So was Billy Burke the North, East, South, or West witch?
Oh, okay.
I don't
Okay.
even
That's
know
what
who
I was
Billy
trying to
Burke
do.
is. So.
Okay.
I feel like it's trivia all over again.
It is. Which
Ooh, we
is
got
a
each
sandwich shop,
direction up
Mackenzie? That's
here.
awesome.
And in a crazy twist of events, Mike is the only one who got it.
Whoa!
Billy
You said
Burke is
North?
Glinda, the Witch of the North.
Oh, I thought she was the South.
No, she's South in the books, but in the movie, Billy Burke plays
That's
Glinda,
where I
the
got
Witch of the North.
confused. Okay.
And what movie is this?
1939.
Wizard of Oz.
There was a Witch of the North?
Yeah, Glinda in the pink dress.
Oh, I thought you meant bad witches only.
No, only bad witches are ugly.
Yeah, look at me.
I said that in my video.
I
Did you?
didn't know. I didn't know.
It's still rendering. It must only still be rendering because I'm on my computer. Because I'm only at 70% rendered. I'm like, what?
Oh wow! I can't wait to watch it.
I didn't know Glenda was the Witch of the
Yeah.
North.
Yeah, she's like, they're laughing because I am a witch. I'm Glinda, the Witch of the North. You are? Well, I beg your pardon, but I've never heard of a beautiful witch before. Only bad witches are ugly. And fun fact, like 30 seconds before she tells Bert the only bad witches are ugly, she asks Bert
She
if
said,
he's
are you a
bad
good witch or a bad witch?
It's like,
I
she
said
basically,
that in my video. I'm like, "Bitch, why are you asking me if I'm a good witch or a bad witch? You think bad witches are ugly. I'm pretty.
She's obviously an average looking witch then.
she's a basic. Here it is.
She's a basic witch, obviously.
Well, I wonder if
Basically.
that was written in because of all the hate she got and like what people really actually thought of her.
No, this was before Twitter. The studios didn't care, but it's possible. It's possible.
No, but
yeah.
like the studio execs thought she was like fat and ugly.
Yeah, I know. It's so sad. Even though Billy Burke, I feel like the dress is prettier than Billy Burke is, but everyone's beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. Next, Mary J. Blige. Which witch was she?
Oh,
She
that's
was a witch?
Yes. And
Yeah,
Cinderella.
Nope, Mary J. Blige
No,
has
she
played
was
one
in-
of the Witches of Oz.
In the Wiz?
Wait, so we're going outside of the Wizard of Oz, the movie, and we're seeing any possible
Any Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
Which
this
witch
is
did
the
Mary
weird.
J. Blige?
There was a live version that they did. Hold on.
I'm gonna go for it.
I'm just gonna just say West for the rest of the game.
Oh, wait, Ajanaclair, was your vote North or West?
Yes, it was North.
Wait,
Okay.
Northwest, like Kanye
Like
Northwest.
I think it's West. I can't remember now. I know I watched it.
You're correct. She's the Witch of the West. She sings
Yeah.
No Bad News.
That's what I thought.
You know, I
Yes.
did dance to that song. You think I'd
Oh.
remember that?
It's so catchy. Okay, Rachel Weisz. Which witch was Rachel Weisz?
sand.
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz. From The Mummy.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just gonna keep going east.
I don't even remember.
And I'm hoping eventually I'll be right.
I'm just going to say this. Just for the fun of it. This game's hard. I don't like it.
It's 1 of 4. It's multiple choice. She was the Wicked Witch
so well.
Me too.
of the East.
Oh,
Dude, Mike is going to be the comeback king.
Wait, which
Oz Great and
adaptation?
Powerful, Lauren. Come on. Oz
She was Rachel Weisz was in the movie.
She's the one that gives the apple to Mila Kunis.
Oh my god, I totally forgot. I don't know why. Okay, I forgot.
Matt, you have
gosh,
your favorite people in here, yeah.
It's K-Dog and Fish.
Hey,
They're
K-Dog
my
and Fish.
K-Dog and Fish.
Hi, friends. Thanks for
And-
watching.
Fish.
And Jeanette.
Hey, Jeanette.
Jeanette, we
Ah.
shouted you out
We
earlier.
love you.
Yeah, we said hello.
Oh, all my favorite people. I'm so excited. Oh, and Martha. Yay. But we knew she was here, but yay.
Yeah.
It would scare. Yes, I'm glad there aren't real witches as well. Okay, now for the final round, this is
Okay.
the all or nothing round, and anything goes. It might be a trick question. That's all I'll say. So, for this one, again, you can tell me how many points you would like to wager. Lauren, thus far you have 9 points. Mike, you have 7. Amanda has 8. Morgan has 9. Ajanaclair has 7.
How many did you have, Lauren?
9.
What?
9.
9.
Okay.
9.
We're tied.
Yeah. So, Lauren, how many points would you like to wager?
I'm just gonna go big.
Go
Yeah.
big. Okay.
Yeah, Amanda's going big.
Amanda, Mike.
I'm going to go with a daily double.
Okay. Morgan.
I'll go 9.
Okay. Ajanaclair.
Do I have to? Can I say 0?
You can do 0.
Okay.
Dude, we're
is
all
zero.
going to lose, and John Claire's going to win.
It's a smart
I know.
strategy.
She is gonna win.
$1,
I have
Bob.
not gotten one of these questions right.
Yeah. Okay. And now I'm not going to elaborate, but I will contextualize it by saying it might be a trick question.
I don't like you, Matt. We're going to go back to that.
Matt.
And tell me, which witch did Miss Piggy play?
Oh.
Oh,
Which witch did
Wait.
Miss Piggy play?
this I know. Oh no! Wait! No!
One of those is right.
Okay. Lauren,
Okay.
what have you got?
Oh, no.
Okay. Amanda?
Okay, so I was good, Matt. When we talked earlier and you said that there was something about Miss Piggy in this, I didn't look anything up, and I should have. I'll go with West.
West, okay. Mike?
This could be Mike's comeback.
This could be my. Wait, what did Lauren say?
South.
I said south.
I'm going to go with none. She never played a witch.
Okay.
But see, that's what I was gonna say, but I was like, I don't know if the.
Mike, you are thinking in the right direction, but in fact, she played all 4 witches. So,
Right.
Morgan, you get 9 points for each witch you correctly guessed, which means you get 18 points on top of your 9. You have 27 points. You have 1 witch trivia.
Wow!
Did Morgan guess all of them?
If I had it,
Because I wrote north and west.
If you had written, if you wrote
No,
all
this one
4,
she gets half her points, so she gets 4.5 points.
no, she gets 9 times 2, in addition to her 9.
True. Okay, that's what we're doing. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah. So, yay!
Good job, Morgan.
Now you can get off his back while winning.
Exactly.
I know. I still had a crush on earlier Disney trip.
What kind of?
It's who's line is it anyway.
Yeah, Mackenzie. What kind of points is this?
It's a math point system.
Where the
That's all
games are
that
made
matters.
up.
The
Points
points
don't
don't matter. Yeah.
Fun. Oh, thanks for watching K-Dog and Fish. Happy
Yeah.
editing.
I need to
Bye.
subscribe to one of the cool Funko Pops.
Yay, Morgan.
I got two cool Funko Pops for Father's Day.
What were they? What are they?
Get 'em.
He'll go and get them.
I'll show them. Are they the Wizard of Oz ones? Because those are worth like $200 each.
Oh
Does
my
it look
God.
like I spent $200 a piece on Funko Pops for him for Father's Day?
Maybe Josiah did. I don't know.
Josiah
I
doesn't
was
make that much
so
money.
sad when I didn't get
I
Glinda.
have 3, but I'm gonna show you.
When it first came out. I was so sad.
I know. I had the opportunity to buy all of them at normal prices, and I just bought the monkey. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I have the monkey, but I could have had all of them.
Well, this one I bought for myself, not for Father's Day, because I'm a really big nerd and like racing. So I bought a retro Jeff Gordon one, the
Okay,
mustache.
respectable.
But these guys are super cool.
This is his Father's Day gift.
I have Darth Maul,
Ooh.
Nice.
and I have Emperor Palpatine.
Nice.
Nice.
So creepy looking. Ooh,
Yeah, you got the stuff coming in his
Every time I
fingers
see
and
him in
everything.
a
Like,
store, I'm like, I can't.
oh, it's so good.
Dude, Target came through, man. Those are both Target finds.
No, yeah, the new Oz ones, or not Oz. I'm still fixated on the Oz pops. The new Star Wars pops are really nice. Rey with the crossed lightsabers. So cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's on the back here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, and she looks really awesome in real life. Oh, Jeanette likes Darth Maul. Yay.
Darth Maul is the
Yeah.
best. Like, his actual ability as a combat artist is amazing. And him as the actor who plays him, his combat abilities and sword fighting is.
Oh yeah. No, I want
He's
to.
amazing.
I want to do a deep dive into like all the different sword fighting, like combat techniques that they use for lightsaber duels. But that would be more research than I have time to do. But
Okay.
anyway,
This has
Wizard of
Ahsoka
Oz.
Tano on it, and it has Wrecker on it. If anybody found me Ahsoka Tano and Wrecker, that would be awesome.
we will keep an eye. Oh, K-Dog and Fish are gone. We could have asked them. Oh, well.
Well,
So,
they're
back to Wizard of Oz. Anyone have closing thoughts?
No,
so
but
how would we? So how do we do the Muppets?
They already did it.
It
I know they
exists. It
How
exists.
they would do it is they would go to Disney Plus and you would go and you would watch it.
I'm gonna have to go find it and watch it.
It's good. It's actually a really good adaptation.
I need to give it a second chance. I remember not loving it when I watched it when it was on TV.
So who would you change then? What would you make better? What characters would you fill in instead?
I think it's very well cast. I think my issue is just that, well, it's more book adjacent than movie. And I just really wanted to see the Muppets like take on the 1939 Wizard of Oz. So that was where my
I know.
issues were. But no, like I think they do all the casting the way it should be. Kermit's the Scarecrow, Gonzo's the Tin Man. I think Fozzie is the Lion,
Yeah.
Dorothy is the Human, and I think it's Ashante. I think.
Yeah, Shanti.
And
I just remember
Who are the flying monkeys?
they got Glinda right, like their direction. That's why I wrote South, because I remembered that, but then completely forgot that she was also the
Oh, yeah,
Wicked
Piggy
I
Witch.
being
almost
all
did that for my video. I almost cast all of Zoel's Disney toys, her little figurines, as characters, and I had picked out like Belle for Dorothy because it was the blue dress Belle, and Ursula for the Wicked Witch, and Mike. Mike as the Scarecrow and Sully as the Cowardly Lion.
yes.
I just didn't have time to like do it, but it was so I like picked out all these figurines and I was like planning on like introducing them with it. I was like, I don't have time to do all that.
Oh, I love that. That's so much fun.
But it almost happened. It's like your video, Matt. It was the Ajanaclair video that almost was.
That almost was. Alternate reality video. Closing thoughts. Terrifying. Closing thoughts. Oz is potentially the movie that ages the least, being that it's in a dream world and can never be too fantastical. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hard
It's
agree.
also very suggestive of a lot of things. Not
It
of like
is.
nudity, like Fantasia was, but like of other things.
Oh, well, there's so many different readings that you can make of the movie that I almost thought to talk about, but it was like, that'll get too philosophical and too many interpretations. But yeah, that's a whole other thing. But so many, like, I think that's the mark of something really good. It can have so many different interpretations that can be argued, which is awesome. What else do we have here? Yes, Ashante is in Muppet Wizard of Oz. So I highly recommend. Give it a watch. And I can't
Is
remember who the
Animal
flying
in it?
monkeys were. It's possible Animal was the flying monkey, but I can't remember.
Oh, I don't like that.
I can't
If they
remember.
could just do like Rizzo and all of his family would be awesome as the flying monkeys.
Oh, that'd be so hilarious.
Now I've got to watch all of the versions of.
No, that's
Wizard of
gonna.
Oz.
We're gonna do Oz month. I can't wait.
Okay.
So much
Okay.
fun.
Good.
Yeah. So I just have to figure out what the 4 Oz movies will be, but it's probably going to be The Wiz, Return to Oz. I guess Oz the Great and Powerful. You think of a 4th one. Oh, Muppet Wizard
David
of
Allen
Oz.
Yeah, I
Greer's
was
in
going to
there
say
too?
Muppets.
Here we go. Muppet Wizard of Oz. So stay tuned for that, everyone. Oz month will happen. So excited. But in the interim, any closing thoughts from our friends here?
It was a great movie. Again, here's my closing thoughts. I just think, Matt, and I think that I probably speak for everybody, you did a fantastic job in keeping this collaboration together for as long as you did. What was that, 2 months? Pretty much 2.5 months? 3
12
months. 3 months. And just all of the rotating characters of coming in and out of the different films. And I just, I'm just really pleased to have been part of this collaboration.
Aw, thank you, Lauren. Thank you to all of you. This has been so much fun. It's just been a dream getting to come together with like other YouTube friends to talk about movies. It's been so much fun. And yeah, and I agree with Martha. I'm gonna miss Wednesday nights with everyone, which is part
I
of the reason I wanted to
know.
do Wizard of Oz month so that we can keep something going. So stay tuned for that. But yes, so much appreciation for everyone on screen, everyone off screen who's been a part of this series. It's been an absolute delight. I adore all of you. And I'm getting nice things in the comments. Oh. Oh.
He is.
Well, thank you all. Adorable. Love you. So let's just do the classic thing. We'll go around. Everyone sign yourselves out. Tell us everything that you want our viewers to know about you, about your channel, and what you have coming up. Let's start with Morgan.
Oh no. So on my channel, I have moving videos that are coming up since I'm moving to Orlando. I have a few more hauls and some pin unboxing things. And if you want to find out how I got these, make sure you go check out my video.
Amazing. Thank you, Morgan. All right. Next, Mike, tell us all about you and your channel.
Well, I just found out they don't have the Muppets Wizard of Oz on Disney Plus, so I'm kind of bummed right now. But
they don't?
We are the Hydeland Adventures. We're here outside of Orlando. We spend time at theme parks, Universal, Disney, Legoland sometimes because it's just weird to go there. We're doing a lot of exploration here in Lakeland, so there's a couple videos coming up for that, as well as another cool adventure we went out to. Thursday's video is going to be really awesome. We went and spent time and ate at the Wave at the Contemporary, so definitely jump in and see our opinions on all of that. And that's what's going on. And Josiah's on his way in. There he is.
All right, next up, let's go, Lauren.
All right, well, we've got tomorrow I've got a video on my vlog of my Disneyland and Disney California trip. Got more unboxings coming, few pin tags coming, so we've got it all coming.
Amazing. Thank you, Lauren. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Ajanaclair.
So I have some vlogs from the steeplechase here in Charleston, which is like the Kentucky Derby. So that'll be coming out next week. I'm doing a Loungefly collection and some small shop, the small shop series to teach you all about the Loungefly small shops and where you can get your bags. And then I have a travel vlog series from a trip I did to Mexico.
Amazing. Thanks for joining us, Ajanaclair. All right. And now it's just me. Thank you again so much, everyone, for watching. Oh, just before we wrap things up, we've got some fun shout outs here in the chat. Jeanette says Morgan is awesome. Follow her. The end. Friggin' awesome fam, which I'm assuming is Hydeland Family Adventures. She wants to plan another day for them. Yes. Check out the video where Instagram planned the Hyde's day. It was tons of fun. Lauren, the man with the action. Absolutely. And Ajanaclair, beautiful lady with the best cocktails. Absolutely. I could not agree. I couldn't say it any better than Jeanette did. Thank you so much again, everyone, friends, for joining us for the Great Movie Marathon. This wraps up this project, but stay tuned because I'm pretty sure Oz Month is going to be a real thing. So look out for that. And in the meantime, thank you for joining us. My name is Matt, and I have 2 degrees, and this has been the Teacup for One. Go away. How do I end this?